Yo, 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 and hello and welcome to the 139th episode of GameSpeak Podcast. New episodes go for free feed subscribers every Wednesday in audio format on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, and all of your favorite podcast platforms, as well as in video format on YouTube, so you can see us in stunning high definition, where we need you to hit subscribe and click that notification bell. This show is two childhood BFFs bringing you all things video games. You can find us online at createforsanity.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter to never miss an episode and buy sick t-shirts from our shop. Also, be sure to join the community in the Facebook group at facebook.com/group/GameSpeak Podcast to hang and talk games with other nerds like us. I'm one of your hosts, JAMAL Al-Jafra, alongside Brent plus Bass.
What's that?
Yeah.
How is it hanging? How's your week been? What's life like?
So,
are you high right now? Do you ever get nervous?
Oh, wait, I thought I was going to say lonely.
that too.
That's my brain. It just goes to the depression part. Do you ever get sad? Like, hell yeah. No, yeah, this week's been pretty good. It's been full of content. You know what I'm saying? Like, It's been full of shit to fill my brain.
Yeah.
I've been watching greatest events of World War II in color.
Oh, that's actually probably pretty cool. Is it like the World War II in HD thing where they colorized it and made it all pretty and it's like actual footage from World War II? Like,
yes.
Yeah, that's cool. I love that.
Well, they just put it on Netflix.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not the same one that I've seen, but I think it's probably a similar thing.
Very
Have you
similar.
seen Vietnam in color?
Yeah.
That one's pretty cool too.
Which Vietnam has always been in color.
Well, not Vietnam. Was it Vietnam? They did a bunch of those wars and they like enhanced it,
like,
made it
you
all
see
HD.
Afghanistan in color. I know what you mean, though.
Yeah,
they just
like
HD'd it.
Yeah, HD, not color.
This one, they colorize all the black and white photos. They're like expertly colorized.
That's sick.
But it's spelt COLOUR, so you know it's like British or whatever.
Oh, shit.
Like everyone's like British.
That's how you know they're pros doing it.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
They're like
They're colorizing it. You know?
colorizing it.
Colorizing it.
It's like, I was there, and me and the chaps, we were flying in the bombers, and then the people died. And that's like basically the whole show. But it's good. It's full of really sad moments, and that's about it.
Cool.
You know,
I like some really sad moments.
Real sad history, dude.
Yeah,
it's pretty weird watching it in color, and then it kind of breathes life into how scary times were then. It's like they lived in Star Wars back then. Like, no lie, dude. Like, literally, it's like the whole world is just like, there were days where like thousands of people just died, like on a daily basis. Just like nowadays, I feel like when wars happen, it's like 2 Americans died today, and it's like back then they were just like, oh well, we lost an entire city.
I feel like it's because we don't have like battles anymore. You know, back in the day, they would have like they'd just be like, okay, it's going the fuck down today.
Yeah.
We're battling, you know what I mean? Like, storming the beaches and shit, you know what I mean? Like, it would just go down. Like you know?
The Soviets, whenever they were trying to keep the Germans out of Stalingrad, they lost like 1 million people. 1 million people in like a month. How does that happen? Like, they just kept throwing them in there.
I guess when it just like gets to that point, you know what I mean? Like where everybody's mad at one country, it's like, fuck it, let's just, you know, we're all gonna just do it. I don't know.
But
you know?
1 million soldiers.
It's fucking wild, dude.
It's like, okay, all right. I don't think I've ever seen 1 million people in my life.
You know, I mean, as terrible as it sounds, think about how overpopulated the world would be right now if World War II hadn't have ever happened.
Wow, didn't even think about that one.
I mean, I know that's a horrible thing to say.
No, it's true.
But, like, realistically, all of those millions of people, like, probably would have had, like, families and stuff, and, like, I mean, we would just be on the next level of, like, overpopulated. I mean, we're already overpopulated, you know what I mean?
But some of the shit's horrendous. Okay, so like whenever, the British actually, like the British and the Allies bombed some place in Germany. I think it was Dresden or something like that. I can't remember. But they bombed the place, like firebomb it, and like nobody was expecting it. They're like, oh, this is like our art history like city, you know, like they would never mess with this area.
Yeah.
Well, they come in at night and they bomb the fuck out of it, and then they wait like 2 hours for like firefighters to get out on the streets and stuff, and then they come through and bomb it again just to kill, like they're purposely trying to kill civilians in this German city, and they kill like 20,000 people in that one night. But anyway, so like they are like, oh yeah, we went into the bomb shelter at like the local church or whatever, and they finally got it open. And all they found inside was a bunch of green and brown liquid and bones because the people had melted from it's like, what the fuck was happening back then? Why were people like this? Like we were just like
horrible.
Melting people, like like they were like, oh yes, it was probably the worst possible death.
I mean, make no mistake, though. If it ever got to a war of that caliber again, people would still be doing that fucking shit on a much worse scale because the technology for weaponry is like, you know, I mean, they would just be people getting liquefied and shit. You know what I mean? Like, it would be definitely going down. I
just didn't know it was like a thing. I didn't know you could just liquefy somebody. I'm like, they're like, yes, they found my father because of his bones and his teeth.
Oh, that's horrible.
Like, so this lady, she's like 90 something years old, and you brought her on here to talk about her liquefied father. Like, I don't want to know about this.
Right?
Like you could have just told me it happened. You didn't have to.
They just want you to know, dude.
Yeah, it's like, could you tell them? I try not to think about it. Tell them, Blanche. But anyways, so like that was a thing. Anyways, it's pretty cool. I've been watching that. I don't know if you saw the Sonic trailer, the new Sonic trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch it?
I did see it.
Yeah. How do you feel about it? I feel like it's gone up like 2 points.
Yeah, I mean, it's he looks more like Sonic.
No, but even I feel like, okay, not Sonic. Sonic's not funny. Sonic is not funny at all. It's such a try hard. Like, I want to be Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu so fucking hard.
So hard.
But Jim Carrey though is pretty funny. Like,
I'm not expecting anything from this movie still.
I'm not either.
I don't think it's gonna be good. I do like the redesign. I think it's much better than the first go round.
Yeah, and they took out the song, the like blatant wannabe like DMX from the, you know, like the Deadpool thing where they took out the Gangster's Paradise song from the trailer.
Oh yeah,
which was ridiculous. But I think this one, just like Jim Carrey when he's like walking up and he's like he's like, hello, rural chums. And like, I'm like, it's Ace Ventura in this Sonic movie.
I don't know, man. I don't have, my hopes are extremely low. So like, maybe I'll be surprised, but I just am expecting like a solid, like 3.5 out of 10 kind of movie. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. This one, I'm kind of thinking a 5.
Oh,
I'm gonna go out on a fucking limb here.
Oh,
got
the 5 over here. I like that.
A solid half, dude.
It could be half. You know, I'm willing to, you know, since the re-release of the trailer, I'm willing to grant you that it could be half.
Yeah,
it could be 5.
They just need to change Sonic's whole demeanor. Like, I just can't do it. Like, and then the end part where he's like, "So you're the best friend that John's talking about," and I was like, "Oh no!" I was like, "This is so cheesy,
dude.
Who's this for?" That's what I want to know. Like, there's a gun in this trailer. Like,
yeah.
James Marsden has a gun. He has a Glock, dude.
True.
And it's like, who is this for?
I'm not sure. You know, that's the problem. You know, okay,
actually,
but
I don't know
check
if he
this
has
out.
a Glock,
check
but
this
he has
out.
a gun.
Did you see the trailer for Scoob, the Scooby-Doo origin story?
That's some trash, dude.
What?
Dude, there's... okay, hold on.
Hold on.
I'm going to catch a lot of shit for this.
Hold up.
But if you're a true Scooby-Doo fan like I am, if you're a true Scoob detective like I am, you would know that they basically came in and they took Matthew. They didn't even give Matthew Lillard a shot at trying to play Shaggy. Like, Shaggy sounds like trash. He doesn't even sound like Shaggy. Like,
okay, I agree that Matthew Lillard should have been Shaggy.
They didn't even tell him they were doing this.
I mean, who cares?
I fucking care. He's my Shaggy. He's my Shaggy.
Okay, but there was a Shaggy before Matthew Lillard.
And Casey Kasem loved Matthew Lillard's Shaggy.
Everybody loved Matthew Lillard's Shaggy. That's not the point.
He's been doing the voice of Shaggy since the movie. Like every single like Scooby-Doo movie that's come out since then, like animated film.
Okay,
blah,
everybody
blah.
loved Heath Ledger's Batman. You know what I mean?
Now, I loved when Heath Ledger played Batman.
I'm not you know what the fuck I'm talking about. And now everybody likes Joaquin Phoenix's fucking Joker. You know what I mean?
Are you telling me this is going to be the Joaquin Phoenix
No,
Shaggy?
this is probably going to be the Jared Leto Shaggy.
It is.
You know, but look, we got to have at least one Jared Leto Shaggy before we get to the new Heath Ledger Shaggy. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, Matthew Lillard is still alive and kicking. We don't need to do that. Like, he's a perfect Shaggy, you know, and he's like one of the greatest people in the world.
He is a good guy.
He's a really good fucking dude, and he deserves that.
All right. Okay.
But other than that,
okay,
it is also weird that Scooby talks in complete sentences.
That is a little strange.
Like,
I don't know how I feel about that.
Maybe we shouldn't do that next time. I'm just like, I don't know.
Okay, I'm not mad about it, you know? I'm just not.
No,
I really...
You aren't mad about it, and neither was my girlfriend. Because like I was talking mad trash about it. I was like, watch this fucking trailer. It's just trash, and she watched it, and she was like, I don't care what you say, we're watching this. I'm just like, God damn it, someone feel my pain.
Dude, I don't know. It looks, you know, okay, that's how I felt about that Addams Family movie that came out pretty recently. But I've actually heard that turned out to be pretty good.
I heard it was satanic. Nope, just kidding.
I don't know.
No, I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised.
It was a joke. But because like some like old people on Facebook were getting pissed off. I took my kids to see this and there was a Ouija board in it, and so I'm like,
oh God.
What
like, have you not experienced the Addams Family?
Yeah,
like that was pretty tame.
Yeah. Well, not anymore. No, but Scoob, man, like I'm gonna watch it, you know, whatever. Yeah. I'm gonna be butthurt the whole time, and I honestly, they have time. This movie's not coming out till next year.
Okay, are you just mad for Matthew Lillard, or has he like openly said something about how he's mad about
He
this?
openly said that he was upset. He's like, once again, you know, like Hollywood is doing their shit, you know, like he's like, nobody told me this was coming out. I wasn't even allowed to audition for it or anything like that. They just picked somebody and like went with it, you know, and like he's been Shaggy for like 10 years now.
Yeah.
You know, you can't just fucking do that. Zac Efron is Fred.
Well, I mean, you also can't just like claim the rights to the, you know, like.
Look, if you know this license, like as a production company, and you come in and you know what everybody already knows about Scooby, then you can't just fuck with that shit. All right. I get you're trying to.
My point is, if you're James Bond, you know, they move on to the next James Bond. You can't be mad about them switching James Bonds.
The reason they switch James Bonds is because the old one gets too old.
Dude,
Matthew Lillard is not too old.
Pierce Brosnan could have totally kept playing James Bond. I feel like, you know what I mean? Fucking. I don't know, man.
But nobody liked Pierce Brosnan's 007.
I liked Pierce Brosnan's 007.
No, but I'm saying, like, okay, here's another one of our things where I'm going to tell you to go look at the review. All the 007s with, like, you know, Sean Connery and stuff, 90s, you know, like up in that range. All the Pierce Brosnan ones are, like, horrible reviews.
I don't know, man. I mean, I guess it's maybe a nostalgia thing for
me. It is, because we grew up with that 007. But the people who grew up with the OG 007, like how I grew up with the OG Shaggy, not the OG. I did grow up with the OG, but then I love Casey Kasem. But I was happy when Matthew Lillard took over.
So if Casey Kasem came back and like took over again,
he's dead.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, that's sad.
And like Casey Kasem had kind of like moved on from playing the character by the time that Matthew Lillard came around. You know, like Matthew Lillard came around, Casey Kasem did like a couple more, like every now and then he would like drop in and do like a little like, you know, just like a cameo. I'm going to do it for this one episode or this over here. But Matthew Lillard is Shaggy. Like,
I don't know, man. I feel like you can't just claim the rights to a character.
He doesn't claim the rights. I give them to him. No, no, but anyway, sorry. I just love Matthew Lillard, man. He's my homeboy.
That's real.
You know,
that's very real.
He's my boy. Anyways, what have you been doing?
And
you like the Scoob trailer, I take it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Okay, you're excited.
Yeah.
All right, it's not coming out till like 2020 December, I think. Wow. So, you guys still have time. You guys still have time to pull a Sonic and fix this. So
they just edit out all of his parts. They just cut that poor guy out of the movie entirely. That'd be fucked up.
Yep.
I've just been watching American Dad, dude. Pretty much that's it.
Oh, did you watch the episode, the Twilight Zone episode?
Yeah, it was pretty weird. But honestly, the fucking episode where Roger sold the jeans to everybody was even weirder.
Which one was that?
The one where he like made the jeans that were like taking over everybody's mind.
I don't think I watched that one, or I fell asleep watching it or
Bro,
something.
You have to watch that fucking episode. He like gets like a QVC like channel, and he's like selling his jeans on TV, and like and like people are calling in and like, we love the jeans, but time for domination 5765, and he's like, those are coordinates. I don't know. It was really weird. Like
I'm telling you, this season had to have been written by like a whole different team. Like, it's
I really
so
kind of
weird.
like it. It's so loopy and strange, and like it's a lot better than Family Guy right now, if you ask me. Like,
yeah,
that's just my opinion, though.
It's true. It's very weird. I've always liked American Dad more. Like, ever since I started watching American Dad on the regular, I've liked it more than Family Guy. Just because there's more of like a consistent like dialogue going on between the characters. Like, it just seems like characters don't get out of place. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like in Family Guy, any character can do anything at any point. You know, like even if it's out of character. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. Like, American Dad is set up to be like a political comedy kind of thing, but it
never is.
It never is, and I love that. You know what I mean? It doesn't like veer into like politics or like heavy-handed like feeding you what it wants you to think or anything. It's just like funny. I don't know. I like it. It's one of those shows that's like, it's one of the few shows still like that. I feel like a lot of those adult comedy shows have kind of lost their edge, I feel like, over time.
Oh yeah,
you know
because you don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah,
but American Dad, I mean, like, it's above all that. You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
It's like, I just love it. I love Steve. Steve's my boy.
Steve is so good. That's another thing. All the voice actors in American Dad really click together. Like, I feel like they play off of each other really well. Like, Roger is funny, Klaus is funny. There's a lot of like funny personalities in the show. Like,
oh yeah, did you see the one where like Klaus is like what's her name's friend like thinks he's hot or whatever?
Oh yeah, and he's like calls her and he's like I have the money. She's like, that was chilling, Klaus.
He like takes her to the carnival and like won't leave until he can like beat that guy. Anyways, sorry guys, watch that episode.
Yeah, that whole season is pretty funny, man.
Yeah, really good episode or good season. Anyways, let's jump into the news, dude. Let's jump into the video game news. What the people are here for. Just so you guys know, we're using articles from gaming news sites from around the web, and we do not claim any of the material as our own. We are simply giving commentary on these articles. And I guess we can kick it off with a little bit of RockStar North, the developer of Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption, recently released Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC, giving us a glimpse at what the team might be able to do with next-gen technology. Now, current job listings on their website suggest that they're looking into the next generation very seriously, as they're currently seeking a programmer that can assist in building animation systems for a next-generation open world. The listing, spotted by PlayStation Universe, is for an animation systems programmer. As part of the job description, RockStar North states, quote, "We are looking for an experienced, talented engineer to help us in developing advanced animation systems for large open world character-based games," end quote. Further down, under the subheading, quote, "What we do," it says Rockstar is a global team of programmers and researchers who collaborate on pushing the boundaries of character animation on next-generation hardware, end quote. This is the first explicit reference we've seen to RockStar North working on something for next-gen consoles. So that's pretty exciting.
That is really exciting. I feel like we're right around the corner. I kind of want to... I wish I had a beefy PC to replay Red Dead Redemption 2 on. Although I gotta say, it looked pretty damn good through my Xbox. You know what I mean? All things considered.
That's what I was about to say. I wonder how much better their open worlds can look.
Dude, probably pretty fucking good. It was like, it's like almost fucking like real looking.
Like photorealistic, or at least the environments, not the people.
I've seen it on like an Xbox One X through a 4K TV, and that was really amazing to look at.
The water, dude. The water is what looks insane.
Everything, the snow, the fucking like, it's just beautiful, dude. Like,
yeah. I'm
excited though to see with all the ray tracing and shit, next generation, what everything's gonna look like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
Oh man.
I'm excited.
Oh, man.
All that aliasing, more words I don't understand. You just throw them.
I'm gonna throw them.
Like anytime they add words I don't understand, I'm excited because I'm like, that's gonna be some cool shit, dude. Anyways, what you got?
So I wrote down this whole thing, and it's just like this article. I've decided I'm not gonna read it though, but I will let you know that the PlayStation folks are convinced that they will have people transitioning to PS5 at an unprecedented rate.
Why? What makes them so sure?
Because one of the reasons they're so sure is because the developers and publishers seem to be having an easy time with their hardware right now. Like, they're sending them the dev kits. And
are they just having a horrible time over with Xbox?
I don't fucking know. That's why I didn't read the article. But they seem to think that it's going to be blasting people into the future at an unprecedented rate.
The only reason I would think that's a correct idea is that people were kind of let down by the Xbox One not having many exclusives. But I feel like if on the launch day for the consoles, Xbox One already has a bunch of exclusives lined up and Game Pass set up with like a bunch of exclusives, then that's not really the case. I feel like people aren't going to just jump ship if there's no reason to.
Well, Game Pass will definitely be set up on day one, I bet, for Xbox.
Game Pass will, but I'm saying like there needs to be games there. It can't just be Game Pass with like this gen's games.
I'm sure you'll have this gen's games and then some, probably.
But that's what I mean. Like, it can't just be.
You'll have at least Halo Infinite. You know what I
yeah.
mean? At least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be more than that. With their like million studios that they've got. We can talk about that in the topic, though.
For sure. Anthem, BioWare's beleaguered shared world squad shooter for PC, PS4, and Xbox One, will celebrate the holiday season with a winter-themed event. During Icetide, the world of Anthem will be blanketed in snow and ice, and everything freezes over for winter. There will be celebrations and festivities, but also unique challenges for players to deal with over this period. When they say players, I wonder who they're talking about.
During the please play our game, please play our game, Ice Challenge.
There will be celebrations and festivities for no one, because no one's going to show up.
That's sad.
It really is. I wonder how many people are still playing that game.
That's what the fuck they get for not making another Mass Effect game or a Dragon Age game or some shit. Like, fuck Anthem. I'm sorry. Like, I feel like we should have been directing that energy into our classic BioWare shit. Fortunately, we got the Outer Worlds over here picking up the slack. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. This is the anthem. Put all your hands down.
Okay, here's some fucked off news for you. Oh,
shit,
here.
Dude. What is it?
In an effort to curb what's believed to be video game addiction, the Chinese government has announced new rules aimed at reducing the amount of time young people can play video games, including an imposed curfew that bans minors from playing online games between 10 p.m. and 8 a.m. Not only this, but those under the age of 18 will be restricted to 90 minutes of online gaming during weekdays and 3 hours per day on weekends and public holidays. The government is also introducing spending limits on online accounts depending on the player's age, with 16 to 18-year-olds able to spend up to 400 yuan, $57 per month, whereas those aged between 8 and 16 can only put 200 yuan, or $29 into their accounts.
200 and yuan.
The official government guidelines will be applied to all online gaming platforms operating in China, including the world's biggest company, Tencent, which wholly or partially owns the likes of Riot Games, Epic Games, and Activision Blizzard. The government is also working with police to set up real name registration system, enabling gaming companies to check the identity of their users against a national database. If companies fail to supervise their players and don't meet the new requirements, they will be given a time limit to make changes and comply, or face penalty, or face potentially having their licenses revoked.
Bitch, we haven't been selling games in China except for like the past 2 to 3 years. Fuck China.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like we've been doing just fine without China. They need to go do their own fucking communist bullshit over there. Like, dude,
like that's some bullshit. That's
dude,
Big Brother, like, in your asshole, dude.
That's what the fuck I'm saying. And you know what? This really drives home why I feel like we shouldn't be cooperating with China with all this shit, like
because we're
Blitzchung and shit like that. You know what I mean?
We're becoming straight bitches, dude.
Dude, we can't fucking cooperate with this kind of infringement on people's basic human rights, dude. If they want to fucking like play video games down there, let those motherfuckers play video games, dude. Fuck you, China.
That's why I'm saying this is why the other day, whenever you're like, I don't really care, I might play Overwatch. I'm like, no, fuck them. Fuck Blizzard, dude, because they're doing
I'm with
this.
you now, dude. Like, this is, okay, I thought China was past this, to be honest with you. Like, they legalized video games. I thought maybe they were, like, as a country softening up a little bit. No, dude.
No, dude, they're just getting more and more power. All they're doing, like, in the next 50 years, we're all going to be under fucking Pooh Bear. Like, we're all going to be living that life,
That's
dude.
what I'm saying. I don't know, man. I feel like these video game companies need to stop getting blinded by the dollar signs and fucking just cut China off. You know what I mean?
For real. Just be like, yo, sorry, Tencent, we're just going to have to, drop out,
We need some kind of American publisher like Tencent to just come, like Epic. Dude, Epic is the one that's going to save everybody, I feel like. You know what
hopefully,
I mean?
dude.
Or then
actually,
again, Epic's owned by fucking them. Fuck.
They have
They're already in the mix, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, no, dude.
There's no way out at this
no.
point. People just want to sell to China because there's so many people.
Oh, dude. I'm just scared China's going to start making all the games and then impose all these fucked off regulations in the fucking games, you know what I mean?
Made in China games. I mean, that's already the case with movies. Like, every time a Hollywood movie comes out, a Chinese or like cut version of it gets made for China.
Well, I mean, that's great for China and all. Fuck them. But I'm talking about,
no, it's not great for them because what it is it's a censored version of whatever they make.
I mean, I'm saying as long as they're not the ones making it and we're only getting a censored
they're funding
version,
it.
You know what I mean?
That's why it happens.
Yeah.
Like, China has been like funding most of Hollywood.
I know well, I mean, it's more prevalent in the gaming community though. I feel
it's not. It's more so in Hollywood than it is in the gaming industry. It's just now becoming a gaming industry thing, but they've been like taking control of Hollywood and its production and all that stuff.
Damn.
Like, it's ridiculous, dude. Like, there's whole new scenes put into movies. I can't remember which movie came out recently, but there was like a part that they I think it was Star Wars, that they added a whole like scene in the movie where like Chinese doctors like save the main character or whatever. Like, it's so fucking ridiculous. Like, it's just ridiculous, but we're doing it because of the money. Like, we're just like, oh, well, there's a lot of money to be made over there, so it's like, I'll just sell my soul and everyone with it, like, yeah. It's bullshit. All I'm saying is like, yo, fuck anybody who's just like, it's whatever, like, it's not whatever, because it's going to get worse and worse. Mm-hmm. I don't know what we can do about it. I don't know what we as people can do about it. Like, consumers, I mean.
But we can protest.
Yeah, that seems to be working out for Hong Kong, dude. Anyways, so Take-Two Interactive, the publisher behind games like Red Dead Redemption 2, The Outer Worlds, and Civilization 6, has filed a trademark that may give us the name of a future project. The company trademarked, quote, 31st Union, end quote, for properties related to computer games and associated merchandise. The trademark filed on October 2nd doesn't give particular insight regarding what exactly 31st Union could be. And like all trademarks, keep in mind that this doesn't necessarily mean a project of this name will ever come to fruition. Likely, coincidentally, the name is also currently in use by a restaurant in San Mateo, California. I don't know why they had to mention that, but
probably not relevant.
Yeah, more than likely not relevant. It's
they
just
make a video game about that fucking restaurant.
It's like, I love this place.
This place is great. We're making a game.
Yeah, 31st Union. What do you think that could be?
They're like, fuck, what could we release in China? This restaurant, this'll do.
And we'll just have Chinese chefs.
It'll be great.
Chinese manager and American waiters. It's like, that's how they see it. But my thing is like, what do you think that could be? What do you what is 31st Union?
It sounds like a game to me.
Obviously, I mean, they said it's for a game. Like, but what do you think it would be about? Do you think you could gather like an era of when the game would be set in just by that name?
Honestly, be any time period, just about. Like 31st Union, I could see that being like a game about the fucking Crusades, or I could see that being like a detective game. I feel like there's like a million different things that could be like, you know?
Yeah. I feel like the person who wrote that article just Googled 31st Union and was like, oh, it's a restaurant. Like, it's the first thing that pops up whenever you type in 31st Union is like the San Mateo restaurant.
That's probably exactly what they did.
Yeah, but it's like you couldn't just scroll down a little bit further and look at some other shit. Like, maybe I'm thinking maybe it has something to do with like kind of like the Pinkertons, you know, like maybe it has something to do with that, you know, like maybe like a type of like group of people, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe it's part of like a Red Dead like DLC or something.
Oh.
That's just my guess.
Oh, but see, they already said they're not going to do any single player DLC. Maybe it could be some online something.
No, you're right. Maybe not.
Because there was that one thing that everybody thought was going to be Red Dead DLC too. That you know what I'm talking about? The Guatemala thing or whatever. And
they were like, "Oh yeah, we're not doing any DLC."
I don't know.
Maybe it could be an expansion to the online thing.
Maybe.
Yeah, because they did that with GTA.
They did do that with GTA, and I wouldn't be I would actually be surprised if they don't do that with Red Dead at some point.
Yeah, just like add new mechanics and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, what you got?
Okay, so I've got Google Stadia's launch lineup here. So check this out. It's actually kind of underwhelming, so don't get too excited, everybody. Google Stadia at launch will have Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Destiny 2, Gylt, Gylt, never heard of that, Just Dance 2020, Kine, Mortal Kombat 11, Red Dead Redemption 2, Thumper, Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and Samurai Showdown.
You had me at Just Dance 2020, dude.
I feel like that's kind of a light lineup, you know? Like, wouldn't they... I feel like... Couldn't you get more games? Like, that's like 10 games. Like, why...
Nah, dude. They just, like... Google just goes half-ass into shit. Like, if it doesn't work, they just back out. Like, that's why I feel like this is not gonna last. It's kind of dumb.
Well, it says, like, later in for the rest of 2019, before 2019's up, I guess, they'll have a couple more games on there. They'll have Attack on Titan 2, Final Battle, Borderlands 3, Darksiders Genesis, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Farming Simulator 19, Final Fantasy 15, Football Manager 2020, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Grid, Metro Exodus, NBA 2K20, Rage 2, Trials Rising, and Wolfenstein Youngblood.
None of those games are worth... It's not like you get these games.
Yeah, it's not like... Yeah, exactly.
You pay $10 a month, and then you have to buy the game as well to play it.
Exactly. That's my problem. And it's like... I don't know, man. It's just trash.
It's like, Google, you have all the money in the world. Like, you could literally just make, like, at a loss, start out by just letting people stream this shit and find a different way to monetize it.
At least until you have, like, a selection on there worth, you know? I mean, because it's, at this point, it's not worth, like, even paying the monthly fee for, because it's like, you know, there's only a handful of games, you know? I mean, granted, some of these games are pretty good, you know, but it's like, you still have to buy them. You know, you might as well get a real console.
Yeah, just get the fucking game. Yeah, it's a waste of money. Yeah. Anyways, following a recent patch that nerfed the gun, Activision is planning another update to Call of Duty Modern Warfare to address one of the military shooter's most controversial weapons. In a tweet, multiplayer co-director Joe Cassatt said developer Infinity Ward is planning another change for the 725 shotgun that should address how effective the weapon is at a distance. Specifically, the update will massage out instances where the gun is seemingly too effective at range. Yeah.
I feel like people are just getting salty.
No, dude, have you seen the clips?
No.
Like, this dude was, like, all the way across the map, and, like, he zooms in with his shotgun and hits a dude across the map.
Did he kill him?
Yes, like he got
hilarious.
like, and people are just fucking using the shit out of it because it's a shotgun, but you can hit people like just anywhere in the map, like it's full range.
That's awesome.
So it's pretty funny to watch though. But yeah, so they're fixing that.
Cool.
What you got?
Watam, the latest game from Katamari Damacy director Kitaya Takahashi, has finally set a release date. It will come to PS4 and PC via the Epic Game Store on December 17th. It's also planned for release on Steam, but that storefront has not updated with a release date yet. The game will cost $20, but it's offering a pre-order discount of 15%. The release date trailer shows a cute art style rim, blah, blah, blah. You get it. Katamari Guy's making a new game, so that's really exciting. There's going to be a bunch of characters in it you can play with and stuff. So cool. It's got that cute Katamari style still, though, you know? That's
what I like. I like art as games. The new Call of Duty mobile game is off to an extremely strong start. Research company Sensor Tower reports that the game has accumulated around 148 million downloads across iOS and Android since its release on October 1st, an extraordinary figure.
That's pretty good.
But I was right. The last time we talked about this, it says that makes it the second most successful mobile game in history in terms of first month downloads. It's only behind the wildly popular and zeitgeist-defining Pokemon Go.
Right, I thought we had established that.
No, because we were like, because it was during the first week, and we were like, no, this broke records, remember? We thought that it had beat Pokemon Go.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, so Pokemon Go still beat out this.
Okay.
In terms of first month downloads.
Like the whole first month, because maybe it was like a first 3 days or something it broke records.
I think that's what it was, like the first week.
I think Pokemon Go did better at keeping people hooked for a longer period, because the Pokemon Go craze lasted a minute, you know? Everybody was playing for a while, you know?
And people were still like actively downloading it. You know, like I feel like they've kind of hit like their...
Yeah, they like plateaued within a few days on the Call of Duty, but still, I mean, it's pretty damn good. It did like 4 times better than Fortnite or something like that when they launched their mobile, so that's pretty cool.
But I think that's because you can get Fortnite on everything else. You know, like this you can only get on mobile.
Yeah, it's true. And it's honestly, it's its own little thing. Like, I prefer it to a lot of the other console Call of Duty experiences. You know what I mean? Like, I love the Battle Royale mode on it. I think it's my favorite Battle Royale mode I've got right now. You know what I mean?
I'm just waiting for zombies.
Oh, dude, me too.
That's all I'm waiting on.
That's going to be sick, dude.
It is, dude. What you got?
Sorry, I got hyped up about zombies. Rocket League has received some new free cosmetic items, and they pay homage to another huge indie darling. The latest Rocket League Beat Saber crossover has brought a new topper to boost to Psyonix's car soccer game. Based on the blocks you're slashing away at in Beat Saber, you can wear one on the hood of your car. What?
Yeah, what? I'm confused.
I was expecting lightsabers or something. Either way, they got Beat Saber cosmetics, and they're free, so go pick them up if you got a Rocket League.
Yeah, okay. Hideo Kojima's latest game, Death Stranding, released last week. The reviews have been mixed, but our critic loved it. That's GameSpot. And the game has inspired a lot of discussion. Over the weekend, director Hideo Kojima was awarded 2 Guinness World Records, but curiously, neither of them directly relate to the new game. He's yet to collect an award for First Strand Game. Or most babies in jars in it. Okay. Instead, Kojima has been awarded for his follower counts on Twitter and Instagram, claiming 2 separate awards. Quote, most followers on Twitter for a video game director, and quote, end quote, and quote, most followers on Instagram for a video game director, end quote. Kojima, who has 811,600 followers on his Japanese Twitter account and a further 2,813,385 million on his English language account, tweeted out a picture of both awards after receiving them. A close-up of the award shows that it specifically focuses on his English account rather than combining the two. The award is specific to his role as a director, too. Minecraft creator Marcus Notch Person has 3.7 million followers.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, I really want to play Death Stranding, man, just because it looks so pretty. I think that's mainly the reason I want to play it. Just like I see all the pictures of it, and I'm like, I just want to be in that. It. You know, I like it. You know,
get up in them guts.
I've heard it's really boring, to be honest with you.
I've heard that from a lot of people.
But I still want to play it. I don't know. I can deal with that kind of boring style of game as long as the story is like compelling, even a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I feel like it's like what's that movie? The Postman. I feel like that's what this movie is, or this game is.
Have you ever seen that? No, I haven't.
Okay. Where it's like a post-apocalyptic world, and he's like still trying to deliver like the U.S. mail, like
what? No,
because it's like some last remnant of like
awesome.
American society or whatever. You know,
I have to check that out.
I have no idea. Well, I watched it when I was a kid. I barely remember.
It's called The Postman?
Yeah, and I think it's Kevin Costner. No, not Kevin Costner. Who the fuck is in that movie? I can't remember, but it's a big dude, like not like swole, but like he's like famous. Yeah, I can't remember. Anyways. Sorry, I don't know why I went on. I just had to get that memory out of there. What you got?
All right. Well, speaking of award-winning movies, you know what I mean? Oscar-winning director Martin Scorsese generated headlines when he criticized Marvel movies, labeling them not cinema. Marvel's chief creative officer recently weighed in. Now, this has become like a multi-week drama. And now the writer of 2015's Ant-Man has shared his thoughts on the drama as well.
He's like, I don't like it.
Pretty much. Speaking to Deadline, Adam McKay said he was flabbergasted by Scorsese's anti-Marvel movie comments. I wrote one, Ant-Man, and I love him, McKay said about the superhero films. I felt like, come on, Marty, what are you doing? You're an all-time hero, and some of these movies are really good. Scorsese said he tried to watch Marvel movies, but they never resonated with him, so he stopped. Should Scorsese want to try again, McKay said he would recommend Thor Ragnarok to the director, or to anyone who doubts or belittles Marvel movies. To anyone who disses superhero movies, I always say, watch Thor Ragnarok. That movie is awesome, McKay said.
Thanks, McKay. He just like came out of his like fucking like high stupor and like it was just like, whoa, dude, why is this so totally mad though? It's like,
he needs to go watch Thor Ragnarok.
I tell everyone that. It's like, okay. By the way, I looked it up. The Postman. It is Kevin Costner.
Okay.
Years after a major global conflict has left the United States in dystopian disarray, a nomadic traveler who becomes known as the Postman, Kevin Costner, wanders through towns in the Northwest delivering old mail. Thanks to the Postman's presence, people begin to believe that the U.S. government has been restored. During his travels, the Postman becomes involved with the lovely Abby and clashes with the dictatorial General Bethlehem, Will Patton.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, tell me that doesn't sound like the story.
It sounds like a fever dream, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's like... Well,
it sounds like a Fallout 3 side quest.
It does. Anyways, so the long-awaited Halo TV series has officially gone into production. Additionally, 3 new actors join Pablo Schreiber as Master Chief, among others, for the 2021 show. Danny Sapani from Doctor Who and Black Panther, Olivia Gray from Fleabag, and Charlie Murphy from Peaky Blinders have been cast for the 2021 Showtime series. The network has announced Sapani will take on the role of Captain Jacob Keyes, a war hero and father working with his daughter and ex-wife. Gray will play Dr. Miranda Keyes, a UNSC commander who has dedicated her life to understanding culture and technology. Finally, Murphy will play McKee, a woman who was orphaned and raised by the alien covenant to hate humanity. Wait, when did that happen?
Right.
The trio will also join Natasha McElhone playing Cortana and Dr. Catherine Halsey, Bokeem Woodbine playing Soren 066, Shabana Azmi. Okay, all of these people's names are off the wall, dude, as Admiral Margaret Parangoski and others. The creators of the series are trying to satisfy Halo gaming fans as well. Quote, the good news is we've been working very closely with 343 Studios through the entire development process, end quote. Showtime Network's co-president Gary Levine explained during the TCA press tour. Quote, and they are there both as a resource to tell us stuff we don't know and also to make sure we're not violating anything big in the canon. So we're doing this with total confidence that the fans are going to embrace what we're doing. End quote.
I feel like that's kind of ironic that they're like working so closely with 343 and it's like Bungie's fucking like
343
brainchild, you know
is
what I mean?
People from Bungie.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's like whenever
I was about to be like,
whenever Bungie went to go make Destiny, like they split in half. Like,
okay.
They stayed and recruited new people to help make more Halos, and they went to go make Destiny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
kind of like the Titanfall people leaving the Call of Duty people.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
just like that.
Neat.
Yes, neat.
I feel like well, I don't know. Destiny is doing okay in its own right, but I feel like I would rather back the Halo horse. You know what I mean?
I agree, but I don't think that the public agrees. You know, like Destiny is one of the biggest games ever.
Oh, for sure. You know, but if it was just me, you know,
and a lot of people are getting bored with Halo.
True.
You know,
but still,
Halo fatigue is the issue.
I don't know. I guess when you break off, when they broke away, they probably didn't know they were going to be making Destiny. You know, they probably had these like
big dreams. Not that Destiny is not a big dream. Like,
no, I'm not hating on Destiny.
Remember the hype whenever they were like, our new game will be revealed, and like everyone was like, what the fuck is Destiny? You know, like, oh
I
my
remember
God.
the hype, dude.
Yeah, dude. And then,
I just feel like it's so much like Halo, you know?
It is.
That's just my only problem with Destiny.
It's like Halo as an MMO, though.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, what you got?
Television network AMC and its newly established subsidiary AMC Games have announced a brand new flight passenger simulation titled Airplane Mode, scheduled to launch sometime in 2020 for PC. Airplane Mode puts you in the passenger seat of a flight attendee, where you'll sit through a real-time 6-hour commercial airline flight across the Atlantic in coach. According to the game's Steam page, every flight will reportedly feature randomized events to build the most realistic flight simulation ever created down to the last detail. From the design of your seat and the seat back in front of you, to the contents of your carry-on bag and smartphone hard drive, to the behaviors of the cabin crew and other passengers, and more.
This just sounds like a weird fetish.
I know. It's
someone just gonna masturbate to this like for 6 hours.
The trailer's weird too, dude. It's just like him doing like a crossword puzzle and like the fucking the flight attendant or the captain's like talking on the PA system or whatever, and he's like, "We'll be landing in blah blah blah," and he's like looking around the cabin. The only way I could see this game being dope is if like every now and then
it crashes.
Yeah, like
I feel like what's gonna happen is, and how that trailer should have went down is like you hear the guy, the captain talking over the thing, and he's like, and we're gonna, if you look out your window, you can see Chicago down below with the lights and blah blah, and then you just hear like furious beating as someone's fucking hands are wrapped around their fucking hog going to town, because that's what this is, dude. That's what this is. It's a weird porn category.
No, what? Why?
Who just wants to sit on a fucking flight for 6 hours in a video game?
Probably the same people who want to play that truck driver simulator game.
At least in that one, you do something. This one, you're going to sit in a seat for 6 hours.
In that one, you're sitting in a seat for 6 hours.
Yeah, but you drive.
Yeah, well, in this one, you're doing crossword puzzles and stuff.
So what is it?
My thing is, I think that there's got to be some kind of excitement in the random events that happen. You know what I mean?
There better be. There better fucking be. Otherwise, this game is a complete like.
What if somebody comes up mid-flight and they're like, "Hey, can we switch seats?" And you're like,
"That's the action.
Yeah.
That's the whole fucking thing."
Yeah, dude.
Get my heart rate.
You're
up.
not seeing the fucking the high adrenaline, high stakes action.
I'm seeing it here because, you know, technically you're supposed to sit in the seat you're assigned to, so
exactly.
You don't want to get in trouble.
Exactly. Okay, or here's another scenario.
Yeah.
What if, like, mid-flight, right, like, you drink a couple, like, Pepsis. And,
shit.
It's like a 6-hour flight, so, like...
You gotta piss.
Right?
But you're on the inside seat.
But then they're like, there's gonna be turbulence. You gotta fucking buckle up and stay sitting. So like you have to like mash buttons and like do quick time events to like
keep from pissing yourself.
To like hold your piss in.
Oh, dude, I got one. Okay. You're like in the seat. Okay. You're like flying. Okay. Everything's all good.
Yeah.
And then you turn and you look behind you and there's a man.
Oh,
and
shit.
He's sitting there and that's about it. That's the whole fucking story because
wow.
that's what this game is going to be. There's going to be nothing fucking happening in this game, Brent.
I feel like if you could make it so epic though. If imagine this, but like it's just every situation is like the worst case scenario. Like
what if it's like artificial intelligence, like an algorithm where random events take place, and what if it just happens to one day play out all of the events of 9/11 just on a random like.
See, that's why I think that it's going to end up being boring because they probably don't want to like offend people with like terrorists or like blowing stuff up or like planes crash. Because like I don't know. I just can't imagine them doing something like risky, you know?
Me either. And how many characters are going to be in this game? Like how many like character designs have they made? Is everybody going to look the same in every flight?
I don't know, man. But if there's not like a part where like they come out and they're like, the captain, he just had a heart attack. We need somebody to fly this plane.
And then you like hop in there and you got to fly the plane.
Yes, dude.
Like every now and then, like one of the characters will have like like there will be a difference in like his suit has like a rip on it or something. Like, yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Anyways, good for AMC. I feel like they hired the Hideo Kojima fucking simulation games. Anyways, so. A popular Fortnite pro who joined the competitive esports team FaZe Clan earlier this year has been issued a lifetime ban from the Battle Royale shooter for using an aimbot. Jarvis Cautry has been, quote, permanently banned on Fortnite for life, end quote, for using an aimbot in the game's solos and playground modes. While Cautry notes in an apology video that this, quote, this is the first time, end quote, he's ever done anything like this and has never done this in a competitive game mode at all. Developer Epic Games makes its rules explicitly clear in its end user license agreement. One of the EULA's clauses states that running or using methods which are not authorized by Epic and which interfere with the outcome and or the course of the software, including cheats, bots, scripts, or mods not expressly authorized by Epic, is strictly prohibited. In a statement to the press, Epic Games exercised the common cheaters never prosper mantra. Quote, we have a zero tolerance policy for the usage of cheat software. When people use aimbots or other cheat technologies to gain an unfair advantage, they ruin games for people who are playing fairly. I was, end quote. And then this is what the kid said. I was completely oblivious to what could happen to me, what the consequences were. Because
bitch, please.
No, he was just making a YouTube video. Like he wasn't playing in ranked or anything. It was just like random free for all.
You should still know that if you are aimbotting, then you can fucking get banned. Like that shouldn't be a fucking like well, you're a professional gamer, dude. Like you should know these things.
He is like 16 or 17.
Fuck that. If I was 16, I would know that. I feel like most 16-year-olds probably know that shit. You know what I mean?
He's like, I was completely and as he's saying this in the YouTube video, he's crying. I was completely oblivious to what could happen to me, what the consequences were. Obviously, this was a huge mistake, and it's completely wrong on my end. Cautry said, genuinely, I don't even know what I was thinking. Cheating is anything. And anything is just terrible. You should never do it. It's not acceptable. It's zero tolerance. It's just such a dumb thing to do. I should have paid more attention to the community rules in the TOS of Fortnite. I just want to urge you guys to review all of those terms of service and stuff so that like nothing like this could ever happen to you because it's actually so shit.
Or just don't cheat, dude, and then you won't get
just
banned.
Read the TOS, guys. No, Tyler Ninja Blevin said Jarvis is a stupid kid making a stupid decision, but felt that a permanent ban is just silly. According to Ninja, content creators and regular players should be handled differently by companies seeking to dish out punishment. Cool. There's a difference between a content creator who has millions of subscribers, hundreds of thousands of followers, who gets banned from literally what makes him money, and some kid who is a piece of shit who has absolutely zero following, has zero money that comes from gaming and hacks. I like how, like, if he has money, he's just pure shit.
Right.
If he doesn't have money. It's different. He has money. No, but
dude, I feel like that's a fucking stupid ass way to look at it. If anything, content creators should be held to a higher standard of accountability. Like they are the people who should be getting the harsher punishments because they're the people that people see. You know, they're the examples. You know, so like I don't know. I feel like fuck that. And also the content creators themselves should know better. You know what I mean? Like, if you're one of those people who's, like, affiliated with fucking, like, Epic Games, they can't just have you running around aimbotting people. You know what I mean? Like...
Yeah, he also, he admitted that, like, Ninja admits that his initial reaction was wrong later in the Mixer live stream, but does believe the punishment for juveniles and adults should be different, just as they are in the legal system. Quote, a kid cheating at a video game is a little bit different than a grown adult cheating at a video game. An adult should be able to experience and think things over and reflect on consequences before they've experienced life longer and they realize that everything in life has consequences, Ninja said. As a child, they need to learn these things. Should the bans be the same exact, or the exact same? Technically not. Because when someone usually commits murder past the age of 18 or 19, they're considered an adult, and that's why they get tried as an adult. If you are under the age of 18, there's a reason why you're not tried as an adult right away, because you're not mentally all there. I don't think that's how that works, but the punishment should be the same for all kids under the age of 18. While he thinks the ban should 100% be there, and that Jarvis was truly clueless for not knowing the consequences, Ninja states that popular games like Fortnite will be affected if content creators are handed severe punishments and permabans. Without your content creators as well, though, it has a negative impact on your game, Ninja said.
I mean, I don't know, man. First of all, the whole I was oblivious argument is just bullshit, dude. It's just bullshit. Like, you don't just, like, switch a switch and then your game is hacked. Like, it doesn't work that way. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, he even did it on, like, a different PC because he said he didn't want his PC to get banned.
Exactly.
How does that work?
Okay, but you didn't know it was wrong.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He knew.
Like, go fuck yourself, dude. He deserves to never fucking play Fortnite ever again. And fucking, for that matter, any other Epic game. Like, I wouldn't be mad if they just banned him from everything.
Well,
forever.
He can still play the game. It's just that account, the one that he went pro on, is banned. You know, it's like, just play on a different account, and then I mean, you won't be able to play pro games anymore. But
I mean, I get that it's his livelihood, but maybe you should take up fucking Rainbow Six or something and not cheat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
like,
time to restart. You're still young enough. You still have time to.
You're still young, kid.
You still got time to reinvigorate your life.
I mean, for real though, like, you know, if he's a pro, you know what I mean?
Just go on Twitch. Just fucking play on Twitch, and you'll make money.
If you get caught cheating in the fucking Major League Baseball or fucking like fighting or something, you're gonna get a fucking ban.
Not if you're playing at home.
Not a lifetime ban, though. I guess that is a little.
You know, if you're just playing like a pickup game of baseball and you start, you know, like cheating, then I mean, it's not like the MLB is gonna show up and be like, "Oh, you cheated out here." You know, that's the difference. Is that he was just playing in like the normal like matches, and he was making a YouTube video out of it, like as in like, hey, look, this is funny. You know, see, that's where I think the difference is.
That's the problem, is that he was making a YouTube video out of it.
Yeah,
like,
show
everybody how to fucking cheat, first of all. Show everybody, like, what the fuck, you know.
I don't think he posted where to get the thing. I think he was just like, I'm just using an aimbot.
He's got a platform that people are seeing him cheat, and it's like, oh, okay, I could do this too. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. This little fucking 16-year-old dipshit is fucking, like, somehow made it work. I could do it. You know what I mean? Like,
True.
I don't know. And it's promotion, basically, for the people making the cheats. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because then everybody wants to go get
those people are already making a fucking killing, and then you got people like this making basically ads for them. You know what I mean? Like,
That's true. I mean, I get it. I guess, I mean, there's, I agree. He should be banned, but just go play a different game and don't cheat anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Anyways, what you got?
Let's see. So everybody thought the Skate,
Skate 4.
Skate 4 wasn't going to happen because the patent was dropped or whatever. But it turns out
it wasn't.
There's like a trademark still somewhere. I don't know. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but don't worry, guys. It might still happen. So
yeah, EA still owns or like has filed a patent for Skate 4 under a different moniker or something like that.
Something
Some weird shit.
Yeah, so they just didn't feel compelled to like re-up their patent. But it's just rest assured, guys.
It's still a possibility.
It's still a possibility.
Anyways, yeah, you go ahead. I'm out of news.
Okay, this one's interesting. It's kind of long though. Bear with me. In typical fashion, Red Dead Redemption 2's recent release on PC has already seen modders unearth some hidden oddities by accessing the PC port's game files. Whether it's a mod that lets you fly across the map as an eagle, or one that lets you take control of a sheep. However, one player discovered something far more spooky than bovidine-related hijinks.
That's a cow, right?
I thought bovines were cows. This says bovidine.
Yeah, what's a bovidine?
Bovidae.
All right, you keep going. I'm gonna Google it.
Okay. On the Red Dead Redemption subreddit, user Danny Moz discovered that you can use mods to play as Princess Isabeau Katharina, Zizmeister, or IKZ for short. IKZ is in the game files. Using mods to play as her, this is what she looks like. Danny Moss posted. For those unaware, IKZ is a character in Red Dead Redemption 2 who's been missing for 15 years by the time Arthur Morgan shows up. She never appears in the game. There are posters throughout the map offering a reward from Grand Duchess of Luxembourg for her safe return. And some trunks with her initials imprinted on them have been spotted at the fence in the Van Horn trading post. There's also an NPC near Elysian Hall who informs the player that he's been looking for the missing princess, but she's never been found. The posters state that IKZ disappeared at the age of 5 during a royal visit to the United States in June 1884. Players have picked up on the fact that the poster describes her as having blonde hair and birthmarks on her right hand and left cheek, with some trying to find her using these distinct features as a general guide, along with the estimation that she's probably around 20 years of age during Red Dead Redemption 2's main story. By using Lenny's Simple Trainer mod, you can access her character model by typing in CS_Princess Isabeau into the models line of the ist.ini files of the mod. Eurogamer notes that she does have birthmarks on her right hand and right cheek, which differs from the poster saying on her left cheek. Other than this, her appearance seems to match what was described. Why her character model is hidden within the game's files is a mystery, however. Perhaps Rockstar was planning on using her in a quest that was eventually scrapped, or maybe she was hidden somewhere on the map this whole time. She was probably hanging out with Gavin, to be fair.
Yeah, I think they just didn't know what the fuck they were saying because bovidine is not a thing.
Yeah, they probably tried to say bovine and then just auto-corrected it into something or something. Yeah. I don't know.
You think GameSpot's just writing articles on their phone?
Probably fucking so, dude, yeah. To be honest.
No editors or anything? Probably, honestly.
I see a lot of typos slip through their fucking cracks, dude.
Oh, yeah, dude. Anyways, what you got?
Yeah, I don't know. I bet she's hidden on the map somewhere. Just saying. Let's see. Pokemon Sword and Shield are just around the corner, and like Pokemon Go, the games will allow you to team up with other players and take on supersized Pokemon in raid battles. I could go on and on about this, but I'm just gonna... The real reason I wrote this down is because I thought it was interesting. Like, I knew the raid battles were a thing, but I didn't know you had to team up with people like Pokemon Go style to do it, and I think that's kind of cool.
I didn't know that either. I didn't even know there was raids in the game.
Okay, the raids are what the Gigantamax thing is going to be like, and it's going to be just like the Pokemon Go raids, where you like get real people and like meet up at certain times or whatever, and you like do the raid together. You know what I mean?
Like meet up online or
like
meet up in person?
You can do like local co-op with like somebody playing on your Switch with you, or you can play online with people, or you can like...
Oh, wow. So you can do local co-op?
Yeah, I think just for the raids, I'm not sure.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I think that's kind of neat. That's kind of why I wrote that all down, because I was like, oh, I like that element of raiding in Pokemon Go, and I think that's cool that they're finding a way to like incorporate that in the new shit.
Yeah, bring that team together.
Speaking of Pokemon Go, if you haven't been playing Pokemon Go lately, it's a good time to jump in. They've got the Team Rocket bosses out now. So, like, if you beat enough Team Rocket grunts, you'll get like a Team Rocket radar that'll like lead you to the Team Rocket bosses, and you'll have a chance to battle Team Rocket boss. And you can get, if you beat enough of them, you can battle Giovanni, and then you get to do like the you get to like get a legendary shadow Pokemon.
Oh, nice.
I saw somebody with a shadow Articuno the other day, which looked pretty cool.
Shit.
So that's exciting.
It's next level, dude.
Yeah, pretty next level. More Pokemon news. The Pokemon Company has canceled the Japanese launch event for Pokemon Sword and Shield that was supposed to take place in Tokyo next week. So,
wonder why they did that.
It says the Pokemon Company cited operational reasons for this event's cancellation. So,
makes
who knows?
sense.
The Outer Worlds hasn't been out for long, but it's already been making waves for publisher Take-Two Interactive. The Obsidian-developed space RPG has performed well critically and commercially, and has apparently exceeded expectations. During Take-Two's investor call today, they discussed recent sales milestones for the biggest titles, as well as the company's approach to microtransactions. The Outer Worlds was singled out separately as a title that had performed well, both critically and commercially. Company president Karl Slatoff called the Outer Worlds a critical and commercial success. Gosh, they've said that like 3 times. Stating that it was exceeding our expectations and reviews have been outstanding. Specific sales figures for the game launch period were not given, but the game is evidently doing well. This is especially good news for Microsoft, which recently bought out Obsidian with the hopes of franchising the Outer Worlds on Xbox.
I wonder how the numbers from Game Pass like help whenever it comes to money. Like, do they just get paid up front, like by Microsoft, like, we're gonna pay you how much you probably would have made, like, and then just take your game and put it on here, you know?
I'm thinking with those new like titles, they probably give them this like overhead amount, and then probably some kind of like,
it's like, you get like, if we end up selling this many, then we'll start giving you like a percentage for each sell or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like right off the bat, we'll give you like enough to make it a successful sell already,
Hell yeah. And then plus, I mean, I bet that a lot more people actually buy the game like
after they play it on Game Pass
than you'd think,
Oh,
I bet there's
I can
a lot
imagine.
of people that would do that. And then you got to think about PS4 and PC sales, I feel like it's probably doing exceptionally well. And I think Game Pass probably helps with other consoles sales too, because like if people are playing it on Game Pass, their friend comes over and sees you playing it, they're like, shit, I got to play that. But they've only got a
Xbox,
PS4, so.
For sure.
Let's see. Sorry. Okay. Though we still don't have an exact date, Take-Two Interactive has provided a release window for the Switch version of The Outer Worlds. The Outer Worlds is currently only available for Xbox One, PS4, and PC. But it says it will be available for Switch in calendar 2020 during our fiscal year 2020. That limits the Switch port to sometime between January and March in 2020. So
cool.
Shouldn't be very long at all.
No.
Yeah.
I like that.
Are you out of...
I've been out of news.
Sorry,
I'm just waiting on you over there.
Let's see. I got a big long one just talking about how successful Take-Two is. I think we might have already
we
talked
know
about that. Yeah.
They're so successful.
Indie platformer Gris was celebrated at launch for its beautiful art, among other things, and plenty of folks took notice of its gorgeous sense of style. Now it seems that one designer took too much notice and copied many elements of the game's style in their own work for the wellness app, The Fabulous. Gris publisher Digital Devolver publicly accused the app makers of ripping off Gris's artwork in a tweet, which includes side-by-side video of the app running alongside Gris. In the tweet, they warn other developers to be careful of big companies and brands stealing creative work from them. The Fabulous took notice and took the video down. Speaking with Gamasutra, Fabulous's CEO, Sammy Ben, stated that the team's wrongdoing was unintentional, and that the team has been inspired by several other games in their work, including Journey and Monument Valley. We have a team of 2 artists and freelancers, and that video was created a few months ago. We're still investigating this, as all of this has been sudden, but any wrongdoing from our side is not intentional. It might be that one of our artists or freelancers got inspired by a game they like. Fabulous also followed up on Twitter, directly tweeting at Devolver Digital about the situation. Following this, the Fabulous conducted an investigation and ultimately made a post on Medium with a direct explanation from the designer who made the video in question.
He's like, yeah, I stole that shit. What you gonna do about it?
Pretty much. He was like, when I was about to start the animation, I told our design lead that I was going to get inspired from a game called Gris for the animation they wrote. He never played the game, so he gave me the okay for getting inspired. I took the word inspired way too far. I took things way too far, and what I thought I was managing got slipped out of my control without me even noticing. Our lead designer had no idea about that since he, like I said, didn't play the game. I am the only person responsible for this catastrophe as a content creator, and I am ashamed that I ended up copying someone else's hard work. Believe me, this is the first time that I know of this has happened to me.
Okay. That makes me instantly think he's done this many times before.
Why would you even say that if you haven't
just so y'all know, I don't think I've ever stolen anything else.
As far as I can remember.
It's like, okay. You just go back and look at all of his shit, like one looks just like Super Smash Bros. It's like, that looks exactly like Mario. No, that's Lario.
What are you talking about, bro? He's like the person who created Wario. So I had this idea, guys. This is just going to be like a yellow plumber.
Yeah.
We're gonna
He's
call
Italian. He's fat.
Yeah. So that's it. That's all I got for the news.
Sweet. Well, that's it for this week's news, guys. We're going to jump into this week's releases, where I'm going to let you know what brand new games you can purchase or, get for free or whatever in the next 7 days, depending on the game. We're going to start with Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition, coming to PC on November 14th for $19.99.
Aw, shit.
Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition celebrates the 20th anniversary of one of the most popular strategy games ever, with stunning 4K Ultra HD graphics, a new and fully remastered soundtrack, and brand new content. The Last Cons, with 3 new campaigns and 4 new civilizations. And then we got Paranoia, Happiness is Mandatory, coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC on November 14th for $29.99. Friend Computer welcomes you to the Alpha Complex. You are now appointed as a troubleshooter with red clearance. Your mission will be to unearth traitors of Alpha Complex and to neutralize them. Friend Computer will definitely maybe reward you for your loyalty. Paranoia, Happiness is Mandatory, a darkly humorous CRPG adapted from the tabletop role-playing game created by Dan Gelber, Greg Kostikan, and Eric Goldberg. You must deceive and scheme to survive, because even members of your own team can be a threat. Okay. And we got Rocket Wars coming to Switch on November 14th for $9.99. Rocket Wars is a fast-paced local multiplayer game packed with action in fast and furious rocket combat for up to 4 players. Take control of a spaceship with different strengths and weaknesses and proceed to do all in your power to kill your enemies. Okay. Then we got Bee Simulator. It's coming to Xbox One, PS4, Switch, and PC on November 14th for $39.99. Change your perspective and discover the world through the eyes of a bee. In Bee Simulator, collect pollen and interact with your fellow bees, the queen, and with other animal species. Explore Honey Park at your leisure, a world inspired by Central Park. Through main and secondary missions, become the bee that will save your human swarm.
What the fuck?
Like, I saw like some clip of this, and it's like a 3D like realistic looking bee, like third person like bee. Like, I don't even know what the fuck's going on.
So are you? That's okay.
Yeah, dude, you're a bee. It's like airplane mode, but with a bee. So.
Nothing like airplane mode.
It's a simulator. So Black Sad Under the Skin is coming to PC on November 14th for $39.99. We talked about this like last week, but it came to a different platform. This is coming to PC now. It is early 50s, and Joe Dunn, owner of a boxing club, is found dead. Meanwhile, rising star Robert Yell, due to take the ring for the most important fight of his career, has mysteriously disappeared. Sonia Dunn, Joe's daughter, takes over the club and must deal with its financial woes. She hires private detective John Blacksad to investigate Yell's disappearance and to find the missing man. The sinister case will take our investigator to the darkest, most dismal depths of New York. And then we got From 2 coming to Switch and PC on November 14th. Couldn't find a price for this game, but your childhood cars drawings come to life in this chaotic 2D sandbox racing game, which includes on-the-fly track building options with up to 4 players. All players race an unfinished track in turn. When everyone fails, all players must work together to modify the track before they try again. Think strategic, build sneaky routes, and trick your opponents with nifty traps and obstacles. I feel like I have no idea what they're talking about. Then we got Tracks, the train set game, coming to Xbox One on November 14th for $19.99. Enjoy creating your own toy train set with Tracks, an expansive sandbox toy train building simulation which lets you lay down track pieces, create bridges, and build towns with easy-to-manage gameplay. Once you're ready, hop into the driver's seat and ride your little train in first-person view, controlling the speed and direction as you ride the rails. Start with a pre-made environment, be it a modern lounge or a nighttime winter wonderland, or jump into an entirely blank world canvas. Add trees and foliage from various world biomes, buildings, stations, animals, vehicles, decor, and more. Customize your world further by altering terrain and fog colors. Make your train your own, selecting colors and patterns. Okay. And then we got Stormland coming to PC on November 14th. I couldn't find a price, but you're a peaceful gardener until the tempest shatters your android body. After lying dormant for centuries, you must journey through an ever-changing cloudscape, augmenting yourself to become a heroic fighter. Save your friends and reclaim your world. Stormland is a VR action-adventure title with an open-world structure and an ever-changing environment bristling with unexplored islands, dangerous strongholds, and rare technology.
That sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, that's only coming to PC, though.
Oh. Lame.
Then we got Tokyo Ghoul RE Call to Exist coming to PS4 and PC on November 15th for $59.99. Tokyo Ghoul fans everywhere must choose their side in Tokyo Ghoul RE Call to Exist. Fast-paced action gameplay leads players on a gruesome journey where survival is the only goal. Fans will choose their side in the war between ghouls or investigators, each with its own unique abilities and weapons to master. And then we got The Sims 4 Discover University, Xbox One, PS4, PC, Mac, November 15th for $39.99. Hit the books and show your school spirit in The Sims 4 Discover University expansion pack. And then we got Astroneer coming to PS4 on November 15th for $29.99. I think this might be a PSVR game. I'm not sure. But explore and exploit distant worlds in Astroneer, a game of aerospace industry and interplanetary exploration. The sudden development of technology for rapid space travel enables fast and inexpensive journeys to the stars. Exodynamics, the dominant conglomerate in the new field, has open flights to daring citizens of Earth. Like the Yukon Gold Rush of old, waves of adventurers sign up to launch themselves into a new frontier, risking everything to seek their fortune in the far reaches of the galaxy.
Cool.
Then we got Volferis coming to Xbox One on November 15th for $29.99. Volferis is a heavy metal-infused 2D action platformer. After mysteriously vanishing from galactic charts, the fortress of Volferis has suddenly reappeared in the orbit of a dying sun. Once a self-contained paradise, the grandiose citadel now plays host to an ever-growing darkness. Therein, a fearless and proud son of Volferis returns to his home to uncover the truth of its doomed fate and to challenge the arcane evil at its very heart. And then we got Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order coming to Xbox One, PS4, and PC on November 15th for $59.99. Cal Kestis, one of the last surviving members of the Jedi Order after the purge of Order 66, is now a Padawan on the run. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is an action-adventure game set after Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. Develop your Force abilities, hone your lightsaber techniques, and explore the ancient mysteries of a long-lost civilization, all while staying one step ahead of the Empire and its deadly Inquisitors. And then we got Pokemon Sword and Shield coming to Switch on November 15th for $59.99. A new generation of Pokemon is coming to the Nintendo Switch system. Become a Pokemon trainer and embark on a journey in the new Galar region. Choose from one of 3 new partner Pokemon, Grookey, Scorbunny, or Sobble. In this all-new adventure, you'll encounter new and familiar Pokemon as you catch, battle, and trade Pokemon while exploring new areas and uncovering an all-new story.
Cool.
Yeah. And then we got Spring Falls coming to PC and mobile on November 17th. Couldn't find a price for this game, but Spring Falls is a peaceful puzzle game about water, erosion, and watching things grow. That's all I'm going to say about that. Then we got Shenmue 3 coming to PS4 and PC on November 19th for $59.99. The long-awaited third story of the Shenmue saga continues Ryu Hazuki's epic adventure. And apparently, like, they kept, like, they told all the voice actors to do their voice acting like they would have done back, like, in the day. So apparently it's, like, just like playing one of the old games.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It's funny. And then we got Munchkin Quacked Quest coming to Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and PC on November 19th for $24.99. Welcome, the glorious world of Munchkin, where those daring enough among you will defy the best wishes of your party and friends to become the ultimate. If you are someone who would backstab your allies to claim that epic new item, then Munchkin Quacked Quest is the game for you. Players race to level up and betray their friends in a mad dash to kill monsters, grab the loot, and level up. Again, also, you're collecting ducks, because of course you are. Each of the 4 classes, warrior, thief, cleric, and wizard, and 4 races, orc, elf, dwarf, and halfling, offers unique abilities you can use to gain an advantage over your opponents. And then we got Zumba Burn It Up coming to Switch on November 19th for $39.99.
Ah, shit.
Oh yeah, everyone's favorite dance party is back. Dance anytime, anywhere with Zumba Burn It Up. Zumba is a global movement that brings the fun to fitness, with millions of people taking weekly classes across 186 countries. That's a lot of countries.
Right.
Get your
across 4 million countries.
across 50
20
planets. Get your fix of the Zumba program anytime, anywhere, with high-energy routines and hip-shaking jams, including chart-topping hits and Zumba originals. Use the Joy-Con controllers to track your movements and get rewarded for dancing with energy and flair. Dance to 30 of today's hits, including I Like It by Cardi B, Bad Bunny, and J Balvin, and Level Up by Sierra. Plus, pulsating Zumba original tracks guaranteed to get you moving. Pick the intensity of your workout with a choice of fresh new routines and classic favorites, including exhilarating dance styles from around the world. Real-life superstar instructors keep you motivated and on track. Keep it cool with stylish locations with stunning live-action visuals that respond to how you play and reward your efforts. Okay. I can't. Football Manager 2020 comes to PC, Macintosh, Stadia, and mobile on November 19th for $49.99. Yeah, dude.
Was that even on my list of games earlier?
I think it was.
Fucking up?
Manage your club your way. Every decision counts in Football Manager 2020. New features reward planning and progression, empowering managers to develop their prospects like never before, as well as both the clubs and your own unique managerial identity. They say football is a game of dreams. Well, managers are a special breed of dreamers. Take full control of your youth team operations in a new all-encompassing hub. And then we got Narcos, Rise of the Cartels, coming to PS4 and PC on November 19th for $39.99. Narcos, Rise of the Cartels also allows players to relive the events of hit Netflix show, taking the side of either the Medellin cartel or the DEA in 2 distinct campaigns. In 1980s Colombia, El Patron's influence is rapidly expanding, with drugs, corruption, and crime spreading through this is bad out from the Colombian town of Medellin. Now, I was just trying to sound like how they do on the show. It's nothing personal.
Pretty racist, bro.
It is really racist. But have you seen the show?
I have seen the show.
Tell me I'm not doing it. No. America is now starring.
That's pretty cool, though, that it's got like 2 different campaigns. I kind of want to play it.
Yeah, dude. I don't. Do you help the Narcos drug empire rise to the top under the watchful eye of El Patron? Or topple...
El Patron?
Yeah, dude.
What happened to fucking... the fucking guy?
He's
Pablo Escobar.
He's dead.
Well, I thought this was following the events of the show. like after the events of the show.
I'm guessing. Or topple the growing criminal enterprise alongside Steve Murphy as the DEA.
Well, if I don't get to fuck around and be with Pablo, then I don't care. You know, I'm going to be on the DEA. Dude.
I'm with Pablo.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're a fucking criminal over here.
That's
Is
me,
that what
dude.
you're saying?
That's me. Why do you think I did the voice and everything?
Bro, I'm calling the cops.
I already did. And I told them, try and take my money, dog. And they were like, yeah, we're coming to get you. And yeah, they'll be here soon. WRC 8 is coming to Switch on November 19th for $49.99. Play as the best drivers in the championship and experience the competition as if you were there. WRC 8 brings back FIA World Rally Championship racing with enhanced graphics, more technical routes, smoother pace notes, and a more comprehensive career mode with game design influenced by community's feedback and the pointers from the eSport WRC champ. What the fuck is happening? There's way too many of these like WRC, FIA. Like, what is all this?
Yeah.
Like, just say what it is. Like,
it's gonna be a no from me, dog.
Yeah, a World Rally Championship. That's all they had to say. Just call it that. God, people make me sick.
Nobody's got time to say World Rally Championship.
Apparently not. Apparently we just say WRCA. Anyways, that's it. That's all the games coming out this week.
A couple bangers. Couple hot ones.
Yeah, we're going to jump on into currently playing. Brent, what have you been playing?
I've been playing everything.
Okay.
And nothing.
At the same time.
Nah, I played a little Pokemon Go. You know,
Ooh.
I stay playing the Go.
Ooh.
I finished the Outer Worlds. It kind of ended abruptly for me there. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't have been mad if it was a little longer. You know, it left me wanting more. I think I'm gonna go through and play it again at some point, but I'm just gonna be real evil. You know.
Okay. Yeah. So, how did you feel about it?
I liked it. Overall, I thought it was really, really good. Like I said, I just wanted more, you know? But I liked it a lot. And I think I'm going to play it again probably pretty soon.
Gotcha. Okay.
I played a little bit of Kerbal Space Program.
Wait a minute. How'd you feel about the ending?
The ending?
Do you feel like it ended right, or...
I liked it okay. I feel like I should have interacted with my companions more throughout the story because, like, when it was going through all of their little, like, outros, I was like, well, fuck. I probably could have done something and changed that, you know? I don't know. And then, like, I was a little disappointed because, like, I went through all this effort to hook Parvati up with this chick on the Groundbreaker, you know what I mean? And then it goes through her thing, and she spent the rest of her days lonely on the ship, only talking to the computer. I'm like, what about that one chick I fucking hooked her up with? Like,
did that not?
They didn't work out or something? Like, what the fuck?
Maybe you had to do more with that story.
That's what I was thinking. There's probably something I didn't, some kind of quest line I didn't follow all the way.
Yeah, you should have been like...
I didn't think the game was going to end when I did the mission, though. It's like, you know, it kind of warned me a little bit. It was like, okay, no turning back after this one, you know.
Did it let you go back into the game at all? Or is the game just over?
It's over.
Oh, okay.
It ends.
So, like, if you wanted to play in that same game, you would have to go to, like, your previous save?
I haven't tried to, like, load up one of the old saves. I'm just going to start a new game at this point, I think.
Word.
But, you know, I had fun with it. And, so yeah, I played that, and I've been playing a little bit of Kerbal Space Program, getting my space program off the ground, you know.
I hear that's a good...
It's fun. It's kind of just like a trial and error, build a rocket, crash a rocket, redo it over and over again until you, like, get to the moon kind of thing.
Nice.
It's cool, you know. It's a simulation kind of thing, you know.
Like airplane mode?
Not quite. a little less. Like
a bee simulator.
Yeah, probably a little more like bee simulator. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I played a little bit of Subnautica last night.
How much did you play though? Because I jumped into it. This is what I've been playing, by the way. I jumped into it for like 30 minutes and I was like, this is overwhelming, and I left, and then I came back to it, and now I'm 10 hours deep. Like.
Well, okay, I played like the survival mode for like a few hours, and I kept getting killed, and it was scary as hell, and
it's extremely scary.
It's super scary, and like I generally I'm not a big fan of that kind of game, like the Solus Project, Ark, Survival Evolved, all that kind of shit is just not my cup of tea. I just don't enjoy it. I don't like to constantly have to be like looking for resources, and like it's just not my thing. That being said, I was enjoying myself. I was just a little too hard for me because it was like I wanted to just kind of chill. So I switched to the one that's like where you don't have to worry about drinking and eating. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I started a game on that mode, and I was like, having a lot of fun doing my thing. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to turn on creative mode and just see how deep I can get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I did that, and man, I got fucking deep as fuck, dude. I think I found like some secret like end game shit. Like,
don't tell me, because it's though the game is extremely terrifying. Like, I'm afraid of the ocean, so like,
bro, it's gonna scare the hell out of you when you get to the thing.
The deeper stuff. Yeah, like
how deep have you gotten?
So like, I haven't even been trying to go deep. I've been following like the story kind of stuff. Like there's like a radio in your little like life pod that every now and then like you'll get a message from it, and it'll give you coordinates to like survivors or whatever, which obviously they're never there. But
have you been going to like the alien research facilities and shit?
That's where I went, like, or I just got to yesterday.
Save your ion cubes, dude. Don't fucking spend them on stupid shit, bro. Save them shit.
You mean the green cubes?
Yeah,
I haven't been spending. I don't know what to spend them on, but because I don't have anything unlocked that I can use them for, except for like making.
There's a lot of like stuff like late game that you can build with it, like
dude, you should have just stayed in the hard mode, because like none of this stuff is shown to you until like you slowly unlock it as you go around scanning shit and like figuring things out. Like,
oh, I mean, there's still plenty to like explore and see without the constrictions of the fucking like, it's a big ass fucking game. It's so deep, and like there's a lot to it. Dude. Like there's like underground networks and shit, like caves and like.
Oh, I know. Trust me, I know. Like I've gotten to the point to where I'm like fabricating like some nice little like stuff, but then I had to go to the alien research facility where they shot down the ship or whatever. I'm not trying to spoil anything, but I think I just did. But anyway, so like I got there, but I didn't bring enough, like I didn't bring any of my materials with me to make like a fabricator or anything. And I also didn't build a beacon. So like I know the direction I need to go to get back to it. But so like I went back so I could collect resources to create like a fabricator and like, have a place to be whenever I get there, because I was basically stranded and I only had like 2 bottles of water.
Oh, no.
So like I had to use my sea glider or whatever. Like I basically packed 2 batteries and like flew back. It was like 1,200 meters away or whatever. So it's a ways off, but I'm gonna go back over there and do some more exploring and stuff.
Dude, I found this like fucking place. I won't ruin anything, but I'm pretty sure it's like super important to the actual story. Like there's like stuff like talking to me in it and shit. You know what I mean? And like it was crazy.
Is it like a giant tower?
No. I mean, well, kinda it is, but it's like 1,600 like meters underwater.
Oh god,
something.
yeah! Don't tell me about that.
So like, I won't ruin anything, but like, I got all the way down there, right? And I realized I needed like this fucking like robot to like mine the ion cubes from this thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh fuck. So I tried to go up and do my little floaty thing to 1,600 fucking meters or whatever. And like, I get up to this like wall that's like 1,000 meters down or whatever. And I realize like, I'm like under the floor. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like in a volcano basically. And there's like no way
to get out
except
so
for
terrifying.
So I was like, I'm just stuck under this fucking huge like floor, and I can't get the thing I need to like mine the shit because I have to go up above the water to like summon the fucking thing to come down. So I was just like, fuck it. But dude, it's some crazy ass shit for you to find. Like you're gonna really get a kick out of finding some of that shit if you can even get down that deep with
actual like survival
like,
mode.
I can't imagine
getting down
it was
there.
hard to do like in creative mode.
That's what I was wondering, but that's what I like about it is every time I'm like, okay, that's just impossible. I'm not going to be able to do that. Then I figure it out and I do it, and I'm like, fuck yeah, that felt satisfying. Like
the trick is getting you a vehicle, dude. Once you have your vehicle, it's like all bets are off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got to get to that point. Like right now, I haven't found a vehicle to scan yet.
You just have to build the dock, the vehicle dock, and then you can build vehicles.
Well, I can't fabricate like anything that I haven't scanned yet. Like you can't build things unless you found it in the ocean and scan it and get the blueprints.
There's some things you should be able to do, like flippers and like the dock
the normal
and
stuff. Yeah, you can, but not the dock. You can't.
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. Like, hang on, I'll look it up real quick.
But yeah, like from what I've found so far, like a lot of the like fabrication stuff you can't really do until you find it, and like scan it. At least whenever it comes to like vehicles and equipment like that.
Yeah, I think you're right about a lot of that stuff for sure. I definitely, you're probably right about this too. Hang on, let me make sure.
Yeah.
Mobile vehicle. So yeah, you need the mobile vehicle bay. That's the.
Yeah, that's not even like an option on my thing yet. Mobile vehicle bay.
Yeah, you got to scan 3 fragments, so you'll have it pretty.
Which
soon.
Is fun. Like I like going out and I saved up a bunch of stuff and like swam to the giant ship and like was just like going through it and like it's so terrifying, dude. I got like a poster from the office in there and
really?
Put it in my thing and like.
Yeah, I couldn't get close to it because of the fucking radiation and shit. So I had to like.
I made a radiation suit like eventually, and then like I was glad I was like for the first like 2 hours in the game, I like was afraid to leave like 25 feet outside of my fucking because the very first time I turned on the game, I just started heading towards the ship because I had no idea what the game even was. Like I didn't realize it was like a crafting game or whatever. Like I just hopped in the water and I was like, all right, I'm gonna swim over there and like I'm like, okay, this is really creepy actually. And then I just saw like these weird tentacles go up over the ocean, like over the water, like where I was at, and I was like, what the fuck was that? And all of a sudden it was just in my face and like killed me like instantly.
Dude,
I was
they
like,
get you,
shit,
bro.
dude.
When they get you, it's so fucking scary. And the deeper you go, like the bigger and scarier.
Oh yeah, dude.
It gets to the point where you're like coming across like fucking like giant squid looking ass fucking things.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
like
dude.
eyes are like bigger than your fucking like
It's
whole
so
body.
scary,
Like
dude. I love it. I love how
That's
like
one thing
real it feels.
Yeah, I was about to say I like the sense of scale of everything in that game. Like,
oh yeah,
when something's big, it's like fucking huge and scary. Like, you know what I mean?
it feels like the like it's not, but it feels like something that was made on like the PlayStation 1 or something, like whenever in terms of like just the way it looks. Like I'm just like, oh okay, this is like what I imagined open world games were like back then. And now like it's here and I feel it and it just feels so real. It's like almost like Half-Life. Like if Half-Life was an open world, like or Half-Life 2, I don't know, something about it just has a lot of freedom and a lot of like openness to like things happening. I just like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's pretty cool. It's not one of those games that I'd sit there and play all day though, just because I don't like survival games really. Like, but if you like this game, you should check out the Solus Project, dude. You'd probably really like that one too. It's a lot like this.
I feel like you should,
except not underwater.
I think that's what intrigues me about it. Is that it's an alien planet, like, where you're just, like, in the ocean. I've gotten to parts where you're out of the water, like...
Yeah, I mean, there's parts of, that one game I was just talking about where you're kind of, like, in the water a little bit, but, like, I feel you, though. I think the water is what makes it, They do a good job of, like...
It's haunting.
It's haunting.
And you're alone, and, like, all these creatures want you dead. It's like, oh god, it's so intense. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like crafting games either. Like I feel like your survival games, like you should give it like 2 hours of survival mode, and like,
I did.
You'll become invested.
I just can't do it, dude. It's just not for me.
No,
I hate that shit, dude. Like I really do. Like it's just like No Man's Sky all over again or some shit. Like it's just not for me. You know what I mean?
I feel that.
But I mean, I can see why, like where it would be great. And I had a lot of fun playing around in the creative mode. You know what I mean? There's still like so many like secrets and shit to find and explore,
Oh yeah, dude.
Even with all the tools at your disposal, But I don't know. If it came in VR, I might, and it does, but if it came to one,
I don't think I could
access.
handle the VR thing.
Bro, can you imagine how terrifying that shit would be?
It'd be horrifying, dude. Like, I like getting into my, like, little, like, safe place, like, in my little, like, fabricated building where, like, I'll just,
did you make you a little hut and
stuff?
Yeah,
I'll just, like, go inside of it, and I'm like, okay.
I love that. I like building something underwater and, like, climbing into it and, like, getting out of the water while you're, like, underwater, you know?
Yeah, dude.
I love that.
How does that work? But, all right. Anyways... So that's what we've been playing, guys. Let us know what you've been currently playing in the YouTube comments or in the Facebook group at facebook.com/group/GameSpeak podcast. We're going to jump on over to the topic of the show, the meat and potatoes of the show. Today, we're predicting gaming trends of the next generation.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we feel like the past 8 years has been pretty eventful as far as this generation of gaming goes. And, we're here to tell you what's going to happen in the next 8 years.
Yeah, just trends, though. Like, so specifically, like, how this generation, Pokemon Go was a huge trend. Battle Royale games were a huge trend. Like, things that, like, are just like top of the line, like popular.
Mine are just predictions for things that I think are going to happen in the gaming industry.
Oh, okay.
Not trends. Like, I mean, I have trends too, but it's like I have all kinds of stuff. Sorry, we got to be more like.
See, my thing is if we jump outside of trends, then we're jumping into a topic that we could do for another show. Like, I thought we were just doing trends.
I mean, I feel like, some of these are trends, but some of these, I feel like, I don't know. We'll just read them out.
Yeah, okay. All right, so first off, my idea of the trends, or at least for the next generation. This generation coming up will be called the generation of resurrecting trends past. And the reason why I say that is because I don't mean trends from this current gen, but from generations before this, where we're going to go back and we're going to take things from the past and evolve them into things that people want to play nowadays and like ways that they've always wanted them to be played. But I'll get into that deeper. That's just kind of like my little intro to what I'm going to be talking about. So like, what do you got? What's your first thing?
Elaborate on that. I mean,
because each one is going to be like part of that. It was just a little enveloping thing, or like, so like the first thing is going to be RockStar in-betweeners are going to return. Like, we're going to see a lot of, like, those Rockstar games like Bully. We're going to see the Warriors. Not the game specifically, but games like that. In between, Red Dead Redemption 3 and, like, whatever else they make, there's going to be the smaller Rockstar games that we haven't seen this generation.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. I would be kind of surprised if we don't get some shit like that. I would be surprised if we don't get some... You know how, like, Rockstar went through that thing where they were doing the ports, the like handheld ports of all their Grand Theft Auto games, like Vice City Stories and Liberty City Stories or whatever. I'll be surprised if we don't get some kind of next gen version of something like that on the Switch. You know what I mean?
Well, see, my thing is like we haven't seen those like little offshoot Rockstar games since the 360 and the PS3 era.
You're right.
We went an entire generation without these little in-betweeners, and that's what I'm calling them now, is Rockstar in-betweeners.
Well, I mean, we've heard rumors about Bully, another Bully game, but I feel like Bully's almost taken on a life of its own. Like, you can hardly call that an in-betweener, but I feel what you're saying, like the Warriors, like that.
State of Emergency,
Max Payne, I guess,
Payne.
Was technically. I mean, that is another one that kind of
that's off on its own,
but,
though.
I feel you. I feel like we need more of that.
Well, what I mean by in-betweener is less financially, draining games. Like, like you have your Grand Theft Auto and you have your Red Dead Redemption. Those games are just like behemoths. And then in between, you have these games that they can just put out. You know, it's like, okay, well, we're going to put a little bit of effort into this. Like the Warriors wasn't a huge game, but it was great. You know, it was Rockstar quality. You know?
I think that'd be really cool if they did like a Red Dead Redemption Wild West stories or something, and it's just like a half the size
for Switch.
Yeah,
that would be cool. I mean, we haven't seen their handheld stuff in a long time.
I think they need to go back into the handheld market big time. You know what I mean?
I agree, but I also want to see some of their like creative like games or like, you know, something outside of like the already there like Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead. Like I'm kind of like, all right, I get it. Red Dead, Grand Theft Auto, open world. You know, like I want them to step away from that for a second and give us one of their linear titles that because there's so much quality. Manhunt even, you know, they're just quality games.
Yeah, they make good games. Even the little shitty ones are always really good, I feel like.
Yeah, and that's what I miss. I miss having those little things to play in
even
between
like
the big
Chinatown
games.
Wars and shit was really good, I feel like, you know?
It was. And that's the thing. It's like, it doesn't have to be based on what's already out. Like, just give us something, you know, to like nibble on for those of us who, you know, like don't want the giant experience constantly, you know, like not that I'm against the giant experience.
I feel like the problem is a lot of the teams they probably had working on those little games are the same people they have working on like the online mode for Red Dead, for Grand Theft Auto and stuff now, you know what I mean?
And the quest lines.
And they probably make more money off of the fucking, you know,
I'm
DLC.
sure they do. But, you know, like, that's my thing is, like, they make so much money that I feel like they could have, like, a little subsidiary that's working on these, like, offshoot games.
Things,
yeah, it's like...
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Why not, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's one of my, you know, predictions is that we'll see a return to those, at least, you know, in some form or fashion. So.
I like that. I think this is totally going down a different avenue here, but I think first of all, I think VR. I've been back in the VR horse for a while now.
I was gonna put that, but I was like, I'm just gonna let Brent do that because I already know he's gonna do it.
I got all kinds of VR stuff on here, but my big thing I think is after playing with an Oculus Quest a little bit, I'm convinced that is probably where VR is going. The whole wireless thing is really, really cool. And I think that we're going to see a trend of like 6 degrees of freedom wireless headsets coming out, you know? HTC's already working on one, but I think we're going to get like a Valve Index like that. And I most importantly think that PlayStation is going to put out their first like handheld console since the Vita, but it's not going to be a fucking handheld. It's going to be a fucking standalone like VR thing. You know what I mean? And I think that like, you know, every company manufacturing VR headsets at this point is probably going to do that. Like Lenovo, all those, you know, fucking mixed reality people, or at least the ones that are doing well, will probably jump in on this too. Pimax, you know, I think we're going to see all the major headset developers put out some kind of like wireless alternative kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's just so cool to be able to move without the wires and stuff, you know?
Well, I think that VR in general will be on the uptrend in the next gen. Like, I feel like that's, like, this generation VR was introduced. I feel like next gen VR is going to be a staple. Like, it's going to be like, VR is here and it's here to stay, and it's, you know, evolving, you know?
I think it's only a matter of time before we have some kind of VR headset with the actual Xbox logo on it too. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like, I think, and they'll probably jump in on this like standalone market. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they got to. I feel like they have to. The other thing that I think is going to be on the uptrend whenever it comes to like peripherals, I think console gaming is going to take a turn towards mouse and keyboard, or it's going to become very popular to use a mouse and keyboard on consoles just because cross-platform is going to be so popular that people are going to want to be able to play with their friends who play on PC and not be fucked.
Yeah.
So like
it's already really hard with Fortnite and stuff.
Yeah. You know? So I think like right now everybody's like, oh, I don't want to play with the mouse and keyboard on my console, but I think by like mid next generation, everyone's going to have a keyboard and mouse for their console. Like I know it's less convenient, but I think it's going to be pointless to try and play against other platforms without it. You know, like whether you're using it for every time you play or just for the cross-platform stuff, I feel like everyone's going to own one. You know, like that, like Xbox play or an Xbox or a PlayStation keyboard, or
I could
mouse.
see that, or even just like a simplified keyboard that's just like a
W,
with like the numbers or whatever.
They have those, like the little square where
exactly,
it's
just like a single. Because that would be, I could see myself using something like that.
Yeah, and I think that's really going to happen. I think that's going to become super popular. I know it sounds weird, and I know it probably doesn't seem feasible, but I just see that being a huge trend soon.
Either that, or developers are going to make PC players start using controllers when they play with console players. You know what I mean? That's another viable solution to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I don't think they're going to make anybody do anything. I just think that it's just going to trend that way.
If you're in a lobby with mixed consoles, you could probably implement some kind of thing where you had to play with some kind of gamepad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could just see people not being.
But only if you're in a lobby with mixed. You know what I mean? If you're playing on a server with other PC people, you could mouse and keyboard it up. You know what I mean?
For sure.
It's just a thought. I feel like there's going to be we're going to see a lot of creative developer workarounds to this problem too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least in the first few years before it becomes commonplace, like you're saying. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Let's see. Okay, I definitely think the trend of Game Pass subscriptions is going to continue, and not only continue but thrive.
Oh yeah.
PlayStation Now is going to get an overhaul at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they've already dropped the price.
And they put some really quality titles on there. They've got God of War and Infamous Second Son and stuff. You know, they still don't have their.
Even though they did say it was very temporary that those games are on there. They said till January.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so.
Oh, well, play them while you can, because that shit is fire. But they also said that they don't plan on putting their first-party exclusives at any point. However, the fact that they even have God of War on there at all is kind of
I think they say that now, but whenever Xbox is doing way better than it was doing this generation, I think they're going to backtrack on that quickly.
I believe that Google Stadia is gonna fucking come around and realize, hey, there's no success here right now. We're gonna have to utilize our platform and make it into a streaming service or something.
I think they're just gonna forget about it. I think they're gonna put it out and then they're just gonna slowly let it die. I just don't think it's gonna be successful.
You don't think so?
No, I
don't think it's gonna be successful, but I think in a last ditch effort to make it successful,
they don't need it to be successful. Google has so much fucking money you can't even imagine. I feel like the only reason they did this was just to they have these little funds where they're let's try over here, and it's didn't work. Oh well, fuck it. They do this shit. If you go and look at Google's track record of creating something and then just not even supporting it at all, they have a shit ton of stuff. I saw this a long time ago. I was reading about it, how they just will fund these random investments into random industries, and as soon as it stops working, they just stop. They're just whatever. Because they're $1 trillion, they're $1 trillion company.
I guess, but I mean, $1 trillion or not, you'd think that they would see an investment like that through. You know what I mean?
You would think so, but we'll see. I mean, this is our prediction, so I'm predicting they just forget about it. Brent predicts that they'll turn it into something positive, but we'll see.
I mean, I'm not saying positive. I'm not even saying successful. I'm just thinking once they see the success of Now and Game Pass and other similar services, because I'm sure EA Access is going to step their game up, and all those other providers that are similar. Once they see how successful it can be, they'll be like, oh shit, we have the perfect platform to do that. We're just not fucking doing it because we're dumbasses. And maybe they'll change it. It'll probably be too late by the time they realize what they're doing, what they need to do. But I think
I feel that. We can just ask my Google Home. Hey, Google, what do you think Google's going to do with Stadia? Anyways,
So that information is classified.
I believe that Destiny 3 is going to launch somewhere around the second year the next gen consoles are out. It could be maybe even halfway into the generation, but what it's going to do is it's going to launch as a full MMO FPS, and it's going to reach numbers like never seen before for MMOs. This is a huge, ridiculous prediction, but I just feel like with the third one, they're just going to go all out MMO. Like, it's going to be a first person shooter. It's going to play like Destiny, but you're going to see people throughout the whole world. Like, it's not going to be like,
I think they could do that and it would just do just as good as every other Destiny. I think the Destiny name has lost a lot of punch and like factor. I just don't think if they drop Destiny 3, even if they do something crazy like that, it's going to do well.
Oh, I think it'll do fine.
I think it'll do okay, like Destiny 2 has so far. You know what I mean? But I don't think it'll do better than Destiny 3. I really don't.
Than 2. No, I think it will. I think it's going to do better than any MMO that's ever came out.
Okay.
Except for maybe World of Warcraft.
I don't know, man.
I just want to take that guess. I want to see what happens.
That's real.
I could be completely wrong, but let's see. It just came to me earlier, and I was like, you know what? That sounds like something they would try, because they're already in this half MMO, half whatever the fuck it is, platform game, not like a platformer, but it's just a platform as a game type thing. And I feel like if they just took that next step and just went all out to where it's like a big open world instead of all these loading screens to go to different places, since the loading's going to be a lot quicker on these next gen consoles, basically you wouldn't have to worry about load times. You load up the whole world, on the server that you're on, and there's hundreds of people on this world, or even thousands, and you can just go around and certain areas are hubs, certain areas are in MMOs where you can just fight people, it's just a huge open world that's what I imagine is I
mean, I could see that being cool, but it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot like Destiny already is, just without load times between
without
areas,
load times, and you can only have 4 people, with you on raids and stuff. I feel like this is going to be like World of Warcraft, where you can just have
a big party.
Yeah, you can have 100 people in the same area. You'll see everybody there, not just in the little hub areas. Just everywhere.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, definitely think that would be cool. I just, I feel like Destiny won't be the one that blows it out of the water like that, but I could be wrong, so you never know.
We'll see.
That being said, I do have one game that I think is going to come next generation and change the motherfucking game, and I think we can all agree that Grand Theft Auto 6 will come and it will fucking change the game, just like all the other Grand Theft Autos before it. You know what I mean?
What do you think the change will be, though?
I don't think it'll be much of a change as far as how the game is, but I think it'll just be such a good game that it'll be another one that stays around for the next 10 years, just like Grand Theft Auto 5, yeah. I think it'll be that good, and I think it'll have a following like that. I don't know. I feel like 5 is still maybe the best game ever. You know what I mean? It's just that good. I don't know.
The online part or what?
Everything about Grand Theft Auto 5 is just an almost perfect game. You know what I mean? The fact that it's still on the top 10 sales charts and stuff,
yeah,
it's just mind blowing.
It is pretty cool. And speaking some more of my generation of resurrecting trends past, Medal of Honor is going to return in a big way. I feel like it's been a long time since we last saw Medal of Honor, with its last outing, the Medal of Honor reboot game.
Which was terrible.
It was just really buggy, and it was just a blatant we're like Modern Warfare, But I think they're gonna go back to their roots, I feel like EA is gonna drop a modern Medal of Honor that's not.
We've already got that one Medal of Honor on the way from Respawn. Remember The VR Medal of Honor?
Yeah, but
that shit's going to be tight, dude.
That's going to be dope, but I feel like that's them kind of just like, here's a little offshoot thing. Medal of Honor, the license is still alive.
Well, I'm just saying, if they give Respawn if they do a good job on this, okay.
Yeah, which is EA. Respawn is under EA.
Exactly.
Yeah, so.
But, I mean, I just trust Respawn for some reason. I like the Titanfall games. I really enjoy Apex. I like, I just like Respawn.
Yeah, me too.
And I think that they could do a great fucking Medal of Honor game. You know? Like, just a base, like, not VR.
Yeah, just like a basic Medal of Honor game. And that's the thing. I feel like a lot of people either are too young to remember or just don't remember that Medal of Honor was a huge franchise that like it was like on the levels of Call of Duty
before Call of Duty.
It
was Call of Duty before Call of Duty. You know what I mean? Like it really was.
Like Call of Duty was like the very first Call of Duty game was the code or like the how like the code name for the game was Medal of Honor Killer. Yeah. Like that's how big Medal of Honor was at that time. I
remember playing Call of Duty Finest Hour and thinking, oh, this is a total fucking ripoff of Call of Duty.
Yeah, me too.
Of Medal of Honor.
Same. And that's my thing though, is like I feel like they're gonna bring it back. It's going to have the heart and soul that, like the old Medal of Honor had, and which I think has a very distinct soul. Like there's something to it that like you can't find in Call of Duty. Call of Duty's great in its own way, but it's not Medal of Honor.
I feel like Call of Duty was a lot more about showing you like the grittiness and darkness of war, and Medal of Honor was more about like just
the heroism,
the and the patriotism, and
and the history,
and the history.
And that's what makes the VR one very cool, is because it's like walking through a museum basically, but you get to use all the guns. So like that, and like, but that's what I want to see with this. I want to see a throwback to that, and like, like you're flying in like a biplane, or in the Spitfire or something, and that's like
gonna be sick.
It's gonna be so legit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just see that coming back, and I think that we've gotten over the whole the World War II fatigue. I feel like everybody's kind of like, I could use going back to World War II. Like,
the Call of Duty World War II wasn't even that good of a game, and it did pretty well commercially. You know what I mean? Just because people are ready
excited.
For it again,
yeah, but it wasn't good. That's what I'm saying. Medal of Honor could do it great. But that's just my dream. That's what I imagine is going to happen. It's going to trend.
I want a Medal of Honor game like you remember Medal of Honor Rising Sun, where they're in Japan?
Oh yeah, dude. I played the shit out of that. That one had full co-op.
I love that game. I liked it because it was just like not a lot of World War II games touch on like the Japanese side of things. No. I don't know.
No, that was a really good game.
Yeah. Let's see.
Puppy power.
Okay, I think we can all agree that Xbox is probably going to put out a bajillion first-party games next season or next generation.
Yeah,
like it just seems like they're setting themselves up for that. I don't think that's much of a stretch. I'm thinking 8K is going to be the new 4K. You know what I mean?
Do you think we're going to hit 8K by the end of the generation?
Oh, we're going to be hitting 10K by the end of the generation, dude. People are going to be like fucking having to buy the Xbox Scarlet One X or whatever so they can get the fucking 10K. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. I guarantee it.
Okay. I like that.
Let's see. I think phone games like Call of Duty Mobile will become more popular and common. And I think we'll see more like console quality ports go to phone like Fortnite. You know what I mean?
I think so too, but let's be more specific. What do you think? What game or what do you think will happen? What will be the next big mobile game? Like, what do you think it would take to be the next big mobile game? Will it be a shooter? Will it be a Pokemon type situation? Like, what do you think it's gonna be?
It's gonna be something that's already got some name power behind it, like Call of Duty. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think whatever the next big PUBG or whatever, or I think one day they'll probably put out a full scale like Pokemon adventure for the phones. That's gonna do really well.
That would do really well.
I bet if it was like just Pokemon green or something, some weird color. Not green, obviously they already did that.
Or
but,
if it was just
Pokemon Orange or some shit,
or just Pokemon Mobile.
Yeah.
But,
that'd be tight. And it's like not Pokemon Go, just like a straight up Pokemon game.
Yeah, on the phone,
flat fee, of like $10 or $20 or whatever.
But they could make it mobily, like friendly or mobile friendly. Like they could find a way to make it work where like you just hold it like vertically instead of having to turn it horizontally.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was
make
thinking.
It work.
And you could like make your guy walk by like putting your finger where you like in front of him. Where
you just point where you want him to go.
Yeah,
like that could work.
I could see it being fun, and you could keep the Pokemon Go ball throwing system. You know what I mean? Where you like
from Pokemon Go,
swirl the ball and throw it or whatever. You wouldn't have to change that at all.
No,
you know what I mean? Literally just copy and paste that shit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
that would be cool.
That would be really cool. I could see that being a thing, especially in between, like whenever they drop this Pokemon Sword and Shield. Like maybe 2 years in, whenever they're still working on the next, like mainline one, they could release something like that for the phones to keep people busy.
Oh yeah,
for
sure.
Saying?
And I wouldn't be surprised either if we see it, considering how many mobile games Nintendo has been involved in.
Yeah, for sure.
Lately.
And I also think that, or the last thing I got on like major trends, speaking on like bringing stuff back from the past, I feel like we're going to see a return to typical like multiplayer shooters. I feel like Battle Royale's kind of been here for a while and like had its stay, but I once again I feel like this fatigue thing is the reason why we left like your typical like first person, like just like old school Call of Duty where everybody just drops in, shoots each other, respawns. I feel like we're going to see a big return to that whenever Halo Infinite drops, and whatever Halo Infinite brings out for the multiplayer is going to be the next big thing. Like, I don't know what it is that they have planned, but I feel like if the game is set up correctly, that's going to be like the big thing.
See, I thought about this, and I think that Battle Royale has been so popular because of the scale of it. You have these big battles with 100 people or whatever. I think that the big battle part is kind of what draws people in, and I think that it's gonna be eventually replaced with these like big battlefield style games where it's like a war, like a 50 on 50 or 100 on 100 war, like PlanetSide, but everybody's only got one life. You know what I mean? So it's
okay.
like a fight to the death, but it's like a team based thing.
Yeah, just war of attrition,
like a war. Yeah, like an attrition war. I think that would be really neat.
That would be neat. It'd be like paintball, but in video games.
Exactly,
but,
like a huge scale, just like fucking, you see all the bullets flying over the hill at each other, it's like, and you could do it like, you could set up a lot of different games like that, because if it's like one shot or one, death and you're out kind of thing, you could do like Civil War battles with like the slow loading guns and stuff.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
That would be fun, like bayoneting people online.
That would be interesting. I feel like they've tried that before, but like with MAG, do you remember Massive Action Game?
No.
On PlayStation,
I don't
where it was
that.
like 60 versus 60 or something like that. But the problem with it is it wasn't one death and you're out.
That was the problem with PlanetSide too. Like PlanetSide is cool, but it's just so much going on, and then like as soon as you kill the people, they just respawn and come back to where you were. Like, if you dealt with a threat and then they were gone,
for
you know
good.
What I mean?
And it's like there's an actual end in sight. That's how Battlefront was originally.
Yeah.
Like in Battlefront, the original, you basically would just kill the entire other team. Like, and it was like 100 something bots, plus whoever's on the other team.
Yeah, I love that.
Me too. That's what I meant by the new Battlefront's not like the old Battlefront.
Yeah,
like,
you're right about like that for sure.
But I want that. I want that feeling of like I'm dropping in as a sniper, and once it like, or they set like a certain amount of reinforcements, so like you can have up to like, everybody whenever they die, they respawn. But every time somebody respawns, it takes from the pot of reinforcements. So like you might not ever get a respawn if you don't die before the respawn pot is empty.
I like that.
And then like, so once you reach that point, everybody,
so, like, both teams have like 500 people, but there's like 100 people active. So like you could in essence get like
maybe a couple respawns depending on how early on you die. But
it sucked to be that one guy who used up like 50 of your team's respawns though.
But it would still work out, like I feel like people would like, really get serious about it. You know what I'm saying?
That'd be tactical and fun. And I think you could have it to where the game like automatically divides you into like squadrons within your team and stuff. So you like have like a team
like
leader
little battalions
to
and stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So like battalion A, push left and shit. And like the team leaders talk to other team leaders while the battalions talk to like within the. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it could be like, like whoever's the team leader can also hear all the other team leaders, but everybody else in the squad can only hear who's in their little party right there.
Dude, that's what
the like the main guy's like, okay, well, we need somebody to go, flank this side or whatever, and then we'll head in, we'll try and spearhead them, and then we can just ambush them from behind, like that kind of shit, like
that'd be cool.
Like maybe one,
and it could be based on like your rank within the game. Like as you like level up, you get like promoted to like general, and then they start making you like the team leaders or whatever.
See, I think that shit should be like voted on, like or like people can vote. It's like, okay, this guy has a lot of like experience, we'll just give it to him or whatever. Like as you're in the lobby waiting, like they can be like, I'll do it, like just put me on there. And I feel like each class, like if you're a captain, like you get a map that shows where everybody's at on the map, like at least all of your team. And so like you can be like, oh, I see you're over here, you need to head that way. And
or like teams A and B are like dropping like flies over there, like we gotta get a
this is, I feel like, what every E3 tries to promise about games.
I could see this working though, just because of the gameplay elements. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
I see something like this as the future. You know what I mean? Like,
especially in the future, especially if there's a VR component to it or something, because it become more realistic.
Now, as VR gets more popular, I think the battle royale genre is going to stick around a little bit longer in the VR community. Because I think it works well for VR. Like with VR, a lot of times when you're trying to like load a gun or something, it's like, finicky and scary. And it's like, if you try to play like a multiplayer shooter game in VR where it's like respawns are active or whatever, it's just like chaos, what I mean? But it's like, I feel like the formula of like just encountering like one or two people at a time, in a battle royale game would work so well in VR, and plus the scariness of it and like hearing stuff around you, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm just excited about our game we just made now. I just want to play that.
Dude, that's got to be coming, man.
Anyways, so you can finish up with whatever you got.
Okay, a couple more. I definitely think we're going to have cross-platform everything.
Yeah, of course.
I think at some point after the new consoles come out, we're going to see Nintendo drop another Switch.
I don't... Oh, well, another Switch. Yeah, I thought you meant like a new next-gen console.
This is going to be a Switch, but it's going to be like the 3DS was to the DS.
It'd be like a Switch Plus.
This is going to be like the Switch Pro or whatever, you know? And it's going to be able to play games that the original Switch couldn't handle. But it'll also be able to play games that the original Switch could play. Just like the 3DS. You know what I mean? Like, you couldn't play, normal, or you can't play 3DS games on a normal DS. It'll be like that,
No, I agree. I think that's got to happen, especially if they want to keep getting third-party support. They're going to have to,
Exactly, because, like, they're going to make these games with fucking the new generation of consoles in mind, and you're not going to be able to have these, like, Wolfenstein Youngblood style ports, you know what I mean?
Yeah, especially whenever the next-gen consoles are going to be, like, solid-state drive, like, fucking...
they're
like
gonna have to
4K,
bump it up to at least a little bit, like
at least, yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Anyways,
and my big one, I think ray tracing is gonna take over. Okay, since you don't, I know you mentioned earlier you don't know what this is. Ray tracing is an advanced method of illuminating 3D environments.
So it's just like lighting.
It's basically just like making light rays that can bounce off of the floor and like project onto the walls and stuff, and like make shadows more effective and stuff. It doesn't.
It's just dynamic lighting, right? So it's basically
like super dynamic. Like it's not like
I think ray tracing just means that like, or at least what I thought it meant was that like the lights just like are easier to put in for developers, and that it's just like way better, like more realistic, right?
No.
Okay.
It says with ray tracing, light sources cast out linear rays of light, which then bounce off the surface it hits to another and another until it reaches your eye. The camera view in that 3D environment. Another factor ray tracing accounts for is the fact that different surfaces, like a glass of water, will refract, or absorb light differently. These calculations lead to a more accurate representation of how light works in the real world.
So weird.
So it's not just like, the lighting is like bounces in more realistic directions. Like it like bends through glass and stuff in different ways, and like hits surfaces, and like you'll see like shadows cast from like bouncing from like a table. Like if you go look, they have like Metro Exodus has a really good video where the RTX people who work on this technology like showcase what they did with like the normal Metro Exodus game, and then they did the ray tracing over it, and it's pretty impressive. Like you can see like they do like little demos where they like put these little shaders up and like shade out this room, and then like show you the sun from different angles and stuff, and like it's just pretty neat. Like I really think it's going to make a huge difference in the way like games look,
like realism wise,
yeah, because like all your blacks look like darker and more full, and all your like colors look more like real, and like just the way light disperses in the room. Because like the developer that was like talking about it while he was walking you through it, he's like, in a standard game they have to like artificially go through and put patches of light in certain places.
Yeah.
But like with the ray tracing on, the light like automatically like goes to the right spot in the room, like, and so it's just like,
yeah, like
everything looks natural. It's really weird how they did it, like, and it's like the game doesn't necessarily look better, it just looks realer. Like it's hard to explain. Like it's like the same game, but then you see the clip with the ray tracing, and it's like something in your brain is like, oh, that looks right. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to even explain it, because it's like, I don't know.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, because I guess like normal games, like the cup's not going to refract the light unless they purposely went in and put it there to make that happen. But this will just automatically, everything's going to be dynamically light or lit. Yeah, and I mean, that sounds cool. I can't wait till we get Super Mario Odyssey Ray Trace Edition. Just like see all the realism. No, just kidding. But yeah, no, that's cool. That's it for our topic of the show today, guys. If you want to add to our topic with predicting gaming trends of the next generation, be sure to drop your ideas in the comments wherever you're at listening to this, or like in the Facebook group. Anyways, we're going to jump on over to the People's Champ. Brent, I got some over here on the Insta as well.
Okay, I like that.
Just so you can see these. And then there's one on the Facebook story as well. Let me show you that one. I don't know if you can see on there, but I'm just gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. How do I do it? And you're looking at the questions on there, right? Okay. Here you go. Or not. I can't find it. Okay, it's there.
It's okay. It's got to be a pretty good one if it's going to compete with my number one contender right now.
Oh wait, here it is.
Let's see what we got here. Oh. Fuck, that is a good one.
Yeah. So you let me know.
All right, I'm going to give it to Phoenix Williams today.
Woo!
Champion of the world, Phoenix. He says, if you were in charge of the music for any video game title you can think of, is there one that stands out with which you would have taken a different direction musically, whether it be for either artistic continuity or personal preference?
Man, that's a tough one. Because at first I was like, ooh, I would have loved to be in charge of the Tony Hawk games, but then like he just means like to change it. Like it should have been different, which I don't think it should have been different. It's just like if they gave me the option to like, work on a Tony Hawk track list. I'd be like, fuck yeah, dude, I got this.
All right, I got one for it, and I agree. I think that would be really cool to fill out like a Tony Hawk style track list.
Yeah,
but it's like so hard.
Just make some mixtape.
Yeah, it'd be like impossible to like improve upon most of the Tony Hawk games. They're like already they're perfect. Perfect. You know, I think what I would like done, and you know, it's already such a ripoff that I feel like nobody would even be mad. You know what I mean? But I think the Outer Worlds could have benefited from some sort of like Fallout style radio station you could listen to while you walked around. You know what I mean? Like I really enjoyed the music that they had, like the Mass Effect style space music at the beginning or whatever. But I feel like I could have dealt with a little more like catchy tunes while I'm like walking around doing my thing, you know?
I agree. Yeah, I would say Outer Worlds as well. I would switch up the music. I feel like that was the least like interesting part of the whole game.
Totally.
Like it was like it wanted to be like something interesting, like you could tell, but like you could tell the production quality wasn't there, like in Fallout or anything.
I agree. Like I like that, like when you turn the game on and it does the, you know, the music or at the beginning, or when you level up and it's like, I like that. You know what I mean? But I just feel like there could be a little more in the music department there.
Yeah, stuff to get me bumping, you know.
Good question, Phoenix.
For sure.
Let's see. We've got Chad McLean here. He says, so, Padme or Princess Leia?
Like, in what way? Like are we just like...
having sex.
Oh, wow. Probably. That's what we're going straight to?
I mean, that's what I'm assuming, you know? I mean,
I thought he just meant like as you know, just as a princess, you know, like who, you know, who's the better, you know? No, I'm just kidding. I would say definitely Padme.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Padme thing. You know, Dylan was like, he says here, Padme basically jump started the death of the Jedi, so Leia all the way.
You can't just blame Padme for that. Anakin did that.
She didn't know Anakin's crazy ass was gonna go off and do all that crazy shit.
Yeah, he was like an abusive boyfriend, like that. Basically, just like, you know, he's like,
and not to mention, you know, that if that says anything about how good, you know, that Padme action is, you know, Anakin was willing to just give up everything he believed in to just, you know.
It was also his first, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like he didn't have much like to go on. He was just kind of like, you know, he's like, oh, I can't fight this. It's like whenever a teenager gets their first like girlfriend and then like, you know, they just kind of forget about all their friends and like their family and like their all their religion they were into. They're just like, no, you know, there's a girl, you know,
and they like, try to cut up their mentor in a lava pit.
Yeah, like they hate him. You know what I'm saying? It's true. So Padme.
We got Deborah Lewis here. She says, "How's it hanging?" And she also says, "How do you feel about Disney Plus?"
What's up, Debbie? I don't know if that's what people call you or not, but I'm just going to call you that. So I would say me and Brent, actually, we met up early today before we recorded so we could watch the first episode of The Mandalorian.
Yes. We forgot to talk about this.
No, we didn't. I saved it for this because I knew she asked this question. The Mandalorian was pretty good. I mean, I don't know what it is yet. Like, I feel like nobody can really know what it is yet.
There's a baby Yoda.
Yeah, there is I think we just spoiled everything.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't know if it's Yoda. It's like a little baby.
Probably not.
Yoda.
It's definitely not Yoda.
You know, like
just judging by the timeline we're in.
Yeah,
like,
which I don't even know what the timeline is technically.
It just like, can't be Yoda.
No,
there's just no way.
It's not. Maybe it's Yoda's like long lost child. You know, like he just went and like fucked some other
Yoda's
Yoda
bitch, like illegitimate fucking child, dude. They just go on Maury.
Yoda-Londa, you know, like.
But you know, in general about Disney Plus, not even like The Mandalorian.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Oh
stuff.
yeah, it's got Smart House. It's got Brink.
Bro.
It's got 101 Dalmatians.
I haven't watched it yet, but they have a live-action Lady and the Tramp movie they have on there. Did you see that?
I ain't trying to hear that. So
why not?
That can't,
Lady and the Tramp.
That can't be good. A live-action Lady and the Tramp.
Spaghetti-ass eating dogs. Man.
Fucking tramp, dog. Yeah, no, like I'm just not about that.
They
like,
got that old school X-Men, dude.
That is true. They got the animated X-Men. They got
a lot of good Marvel stuff, and
gargoyles.
I didn't see that. They got gargoyles.
They got gargoyles, dude.
Bro, I love gargoyles.
Yeah, that shit's on there. I wonder if they got the Mighty Ducks. Like
I saw Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck. Yeah, there you go. They've got all the Star Wars movies on there. They got all the Marvel movies on there, except for Spider-Man. I
guess it's Sony. Yeah. They do have they have Avengers movies with Spider-Man in it.
Yeah, they got Homeward Bound, like the old school one where like the animals are like actually killed during the filming, and then they have
what?
Yeah, not like the like one from like the 60s or whenever it first came out.
They got killed during the filming?
No, there's like a part in the film where like a bobcat like literally chases down the cat, and like back then they didn't really have like rules against like you can't kill the animals in the film, and I'm pretty sure that cat actually got murdered by that bobcat. I know that bobcat's not acting when it wants to murder that cat, so
jeez, I gotta look this up. That's fucked up, dude.
Oh, dude, have you not seen the documentary? Like, there's like a Disney documentary from back in the day. Like, they used to do Disney like nature documentaries. I forget when it came out, but it's called like The White Something. It's on there. But there's like these animals called lemmings. And like they show them. And like they're like, the lemmings will do this unique thing where they all walk to the edge of a cliff and will jump off and commit suicide or whatever.
What the
fuck?
And
it was a complete lie. They just wanted something interesting for the documentary, so they gathered all these animals on the edge of a cliff and scared them off. Like they literally scared them off of the cliff to drown.
What?
Yes, this is a real thing Disney used to do. And
oh my god,
yes, dude! Why?
That's one of the most horrible things I've ever heard, dude. What the fuck?
So I'm excited to watch that.
Oh my god, is that on there? Can I?
Yes. Let me see. It's called White Wilderness. It came out in 1958.
Oh my god, dude!
Yeah,
more like Red Wilderness, dude. What the fuck? I'm boycotting Disney Plus. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah. Hold on, I gotta see of the. Yeah, it says lemming suicide myth. Disney film faked bogus behavior. Lemmings do not commit mass suicide. It's a myth, but it's remarkable how many people believe it.
Well, yeah, if the fucking Disney film tells you, I mean, can you really blame people for like trusting this nature documentary they're fucking watching, where there's like video evidence of it happening? Like,
but really, they just like force these animals to like jump off and die. It says in 1958, Walt Disney produced White Wilderness, part of the studio's True Life Adventure series. White Wilderness featured a segment on lemmings detailing their strange compulsion to commit mass suicide. According to a 1983 investigation by Canadian Broadcasting Corporation producer Brian Vallee, the lemming scenes were faked. The lemmings supposedly committing mass suicide by leaping into the ocean were actually thrown off a cliff by the Disney filmmakers. The epic the epic lemming migration was staged using careful editing, tight camera angles, and a few dozen lemmings running on snow-covered Lazy Susan style turntable.
Wait, so they didn't even actually film the lemmings migrate? They just threw them off a cliff? Fucking assholes.
Look at how cute they are.
Oh no!
They just murdered them. So if you watch this documentary,
people, dude.
This documentary is on Disney Plus. Go watch White Wilderness and watch the lemmings get murdered by actual like Disney filmmakers. I
don't know if I want to see that. That's sad as fuck, dog.
They're just like, who thought that? He's like, I got that idea.
This was made in 1958.
Yes.
I hope those fucking filmmakers are dead.
Well, I'm sure they're dead.
Fuck those assholes, dude. Like,
just absolute psychopaths.
I'm about to go to the nursing home and give those people a piece of my fucking mind, dude.
They're like, they're coming for us. They found out about the lemmings.
Jeez. Okay. All right. On to some lighter questions.
Yeah, for sure.
We got Charles Chastain here.
What's up, Charles?
He says, we got two questions here. One's not really a question, but he says, Cyberpunk 2077 is launching on my birthday. I don't have a question, just wanted to laud my birthday over all other inferior birthdays.
Awesome.
That's pretty sick, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm super jelly.
I'm not gonna lie. Hope you get it for your birthday.
Yeah, that would be the worst part if nobody bought it for you for your birthday.
That would be some bullshit. We should get it.
Yeah, we'll get it for you for your birthday. We'll figure it out. We'll throw some money in.
But we also have a real question from Charles. He says, also, how do you feel about the Sonic movie reskin?
We talked a little bit about it.
Yeah, we touched on this.
Yeah. I think it looks better. I'm still giving it a 5 out of 10.
I'm still not expecting greatness, you know?
No, and that's the thing about it, though, is like I feel like this trailer hit better with me. Not just the way it looked, but the jokes and the stuff. I was like, okay, I could see this being a little bit better. The last trailer was just trash.
Yeah, absolute trash. Garbage fire trash.
It was. It was like nobody cared. It was like whoever made it was just like, fuck yeah, Sonic! And like just like threw up on the fucking computer, and they're like, this is it.
It did look a little more like watchable for sure. Like you're saying, the jokes hit home a little better. Like they're like, oh, this little blue alien guy, you know?
Yeah, but they did kind of give away the whole fucking movie in this trailer. Like, it starts out and he's like, whoa, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm an alien, you know, like I came here from wherever. And then like, it's like, oh, I'm gonna stop the alien. And then like you like throughout the trailer, you see them turn around, like instead of him being like, oh man, I can't just help this guy, to where he's like, he's my friend. You know, it's like they literally just played the whole fucking plot in the trailer. And that was.
I mean, are you surprised that they become friends? In the
no,
movie?
But I mean, like, it's the whole movie. Like, you don't have to see it now because you already know everything that's going to happen.
Yes,
you know, Jim Carrey's going to be Jim Carrey. James Marsden is going to start out as the straight guy who's just like, yo, you know, this is
then
crazy.
He's going to turn not straight.
No, I mean like the like.
He's gonna get super gay like halfway through the movie.
That might actually make it interesting,
right?
You know, but
plot twist.
Yeah, I meant like he's gonna play like the like, I'm the normal guy who goes to work. You know, this is just crazy. And then like by the end of it, he's like, you know what? I can have fun too. You know, like, and then Sonic is going to be like, I guess I got to go back through the portal. And like, instead of like, he's actually going to be like, you know what? I might just stick around. And then they're going to go on vacation. I feel like that's what's going to happen. It's going to end with them going on vacation. Yeah. If it doesn't end with them going on vacation, I don't know. But I just know what's going to happen. I'm guessing that. Everybody tell me what happens because I'm not watching it. Anyways.
Okay. So we got Devin Mayer here.
The mayor.
The mayor.
Devin the mayor, dude. I'm sure no one's ever said that to him.
He says, what was the hardest decision you ever had to make in an RPG?
Oh, I was about to get real, like, in real life. I don't know. Almost every decision that affects the story is instantly the hardest decision that I ever have to make in an RPG. Like, just the first thing that happens, like the first major like decision that happens in the Outer Worlds was like the hardest thing in the world for me. Like, I was like, because that first one that you know is going to affect the story in a major way, you don't really know how impactful it is until you make it. And then all the things that come after it, you're kind of like, well, I already went down this way, or I already made this choice. But like that first one, that's like, am I going to be a good guy? Or it's like, am I going to be the hero? Or am I going to be, you know, just that guy?
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like it's always the first one that gets me. That's the hardest for me, because I'll sit there for like 10 minutes and then like I'll even like ruin things for myself by Googling like what will happen if I go this way or that way, because I don't want to make the wrong decision. But then all the rest of them, I don't even think about it. I'm just like, whatever. I know what I want to do. I've already, you know, made my bed and I'm going to lie in it.
Yeah,
you know?
That's real. I think for me, the thing that comes to mind is like in the original KOTOR game, like after you decide to like side with Bastila and like you decide you're going to go and be evil or whatever, and you go with Bastila and you like go back to your ship and like your whole crew like confronts you and they're like, if you fucking do this, like, we're not going to stand for it. And you have to fight and kill your like entire crew. God. Like that shit was like, that hit home, dude. I was like, because it gives you the point where everybody's like talking to you, and like you have this option, like, okay, you guys are right. Let's deal with Bastila. You know what I mean? and you can like go back. You know, there's that moment where it's like, all right, this is, if you really want to fucking do this, you got to kill everybody you've come to know in this game. You know what I mean? And it's just like, fuck, like that's like some heavy shit. You know what I mean? Like, because you spend the whole game like talking to these people and walking around with them and stuff.
And there's only one that you don't really care for, and that's the what's his name? Fucking the main dude.
Oh God, I can't stand that dude. Fucking.
I keep wanting to call him Garth.
Karth Onassi, yeah.
I fucking hate him so much.
The only one that stands by your side is like fucking HK-47.
Yeah, but that's because he's a straight murderer, dude.
Speaking of which, I really like the fucking robot in Outer Worlds, the cleaning Sam. Did you get him fixed?
No. The one out in the junkyard?
No, the one on your ship that's like hidden in your ship.
I haven't been in my ship. Like, I haven't gone looking through my ship. I'm like 16 hours in that game, and I've never like just been like, I'm gonna walk around in my ship and find
walk
shit.
Around your ship. There's a whole crew member in like a storage closet that you can find and like fix up, and like he like walks around with you, and
what
like
the fuck?
He just says like funny things about like how he's gonna clean up the. You know, he's like a cleaning robot with like a flamethrower attached to him. So he's just like, time to clean up the. And he's just.
That's awesome.
And then at the end of the game, where it's doing like the fucking like what happened to everybody, it's like, and the SAM unit that you recovered went on to clean up the rest of the unit.
That's awesome. That's pretty funny. Cool.
Yeah, good question, Devin. We got Kyle McAvoy here. He says, Sonic movie redesign. Good move or great move?
Does he say good movie?
It says move.
Okay, I thought he meant like good movie or great movie. I was like, I laughed when I read. I guess I read it wrong.
Yeah, I did too. Actually,
like, yeah, it's a great move.
Definitely a great move.
It's like, I mean, compared to what it was, I feel like now, because I saw the comments, like whenever IGN posted the trailer, and everybody was like, hell yeah, I'm going to watch this. You know, like,
I hope people actually do, because like, you know, so they'll be like, okay, we didn't just do all that for nothing. You know what I mean? Like,
and hopefully it's good. You know, like hopefully it's not just a great move on the redesign, and the movie's actually good too.
Yeah, because I'm sure they didn't change his movie very much. You know, it's probably just the trailer.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's all I've got over here. What do you got?
Okay, so we have some more questions. We actually have two from Jason Domican, our boy over on the gram.
That boy.
He says, what is your favorite in-game currency? Coins, apples, rings, you know, etc. What's your favorite in-game currency?
Probably credits, dude.
I was about to fucking say that.
I love credits, dude.
I guess we're both credits, dude. That's Star Wars, though.
Yeah,
you know, it's not necessarily an in-game thing. It's just credits.
It is if you're playing a game, though.
Yeah.
You know? Like in KOTOR, there's nothing better than they're like, I'll give you
Galactic
500 credits if you know what I mean?
It's like, those are worth 500 galactic credits. You know, you know, I like how the credits have different, like, these are Empire credits, or is it like Imperial credits? Yeah. Just like, okay, like I don't understand, you know, but all right, I'll take these, you know.
Yeah.
But I like the feeling of it, you know what I'm saying? Like just that feeling of like playing like Pazak and like just getting a bunch of credits for being a
sound it makes when the credits go into your fucking wallet or whatever, you know, it's like,
oh yeah, dude.
You know what else I like? I really like getting the fucking gems in Spyro the Dragon.
That's a good one. I like that, but I also like coins in Mario.
Ooh, fuck yeah, dude.
Nothing beats the classics, you know?
Yeah, especially those Yoshi coins that are like oval, you know what I'm talking about?
Dude.
Bro.
Hell yeah. And then his other question, what's the funniest open world you have experienced?
The funniest open world?
Yeah, probably Simpsons Hit and Run was pretty funny.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good one.
That was really funny. Yeah, I think probably Simpsons Hit and Run. That's a good one.
Word. And then final question comes from Geek Vision Productions. What's your secret to being both funny and sexy?
Oh, wow.
Well, you came to the right people for that one. No, I don't know. You know, I think
the sexy comes with the funny.
Yeah, as long as you're funny, you're automatically sexy.
Yeah, because I'm definitely not sexy. I think this question must definitely be directed at JAMAL here.
No, it's not, dude. That's just I think it comes from the confidence that you hear, like, you know, when we're up on the mic, you know, because like if people could actually see us, I feel like most people don't watch the YouTube version; they just hear us do the thing, so they just like picture
just hear these silky, smooth, godlike voices.
It's like, is that Frank Sinatra and Ryan Reynolds talking to each other right now?
Are you Ryan Reynolds in this situation or Frank Sinatra?
I don't know. I'll take Frank Sinatra.
I mean, I'm cool with either also.
Yeah, they're both sexy. Yeah. And I imagine Frank Sinatra was funny for his time.
Definitely, definitely.
And Ryan Reynolds is both sexy and funny.
It's true.
You know? Maybe Ryan Gosling and Ryan Reynolds. You know what I'm saying? Like
anybody with Ryan in their name.
Yeah.
That's a
and fame.
A-list actor. You
know? Yeah, and then they see us in real life and they're like, oh... well,
these guys aren't Ryans at all.
No. So as long as you got that confidence in your voice on the microphone, that's all I got. You know, like I feel like we got the funny part down. You know, we're just funny. You know, sometimes we try really hard. No, but anyways, but yeah, thanks for the questions, guys, and thank you, Geek Vision Productions. Check out his stuff. He does a lot of cool art. Anyways, we are gonna jump into the final segment of the show today. Brent.
Yes, it's Brent's Super Hardcore Video Game Trivia Challenge. These are 5 questions about games, but not just any questions. These questions are super hardcore. So strap in and get ready. It's about to go down. This week's questions are about sandbox games.
Oh, like
open
world.
Yeah, like Grand
okay.
Theft Auto, yeah.
Okay. All right, take me there.
All right. Question number 1. Including the offshoot games, how many different full GTA games have been released? Now, this is not including like...
Wait, you said the offshoot games. Including or excluding?
Including the offshoot games. Like, if it's a full game, that's Grand Theft Auto. But I'm not including, like, Ballad of Gay Tony or, like, the DLC packs for, like, you know what I mean? So any kind of DLC, map packs, anything like that doesn't count.
Oh, God.
Anything
okay, so there's,
game.
like, 1, 2, 3. There's Vice City Stories.
Right.
There's the Chinatown Wars. There's... wasn't there like another Stories one? So there's another Stories.
What? Yeah, but what is it? Though?
It's 3 stories, or no? Or is it?
I mean, it is 3 stories, but what's it called? You know, it doesn't really matter what it's called, but you know that there. I guess that's not the question. So
yeah, that's what I was saying. I just need the number. Yeah, 3
so
stories.
There is a 3 stories.
Then there's San Andreas.
Right.
4.
Right.
5.
Right.
So is that 10? No, am I missing? I guess I'm missing.
You're missing a couple.
On, oh God, what would they be on? Is there just more PSP ones that I'm missing? Like that's the tough thing, I guess. God, that's so hard. I'm just gonna say 12 and leave it at that.
You were close. You were close. There are 11 full Grand Theft Auto games.
Oh my God.
There's Grand Theft Auto 1 through 5. You left off Vice City for some reason. You put Vice City Stories.
Oh, because I said Vice City Stories.
Yeah.
That's why.
So there's Vice City Stories, Liberty City Stories, San Andreas, GTA Advanced, which is a Game Boy Advance game, and GTA Chinatown Wars. So.
God damn. That's a lot of Grand Theft Autos.
Yeah.
I would have never thought of Advance as its own game, though.
It's kind of a hard one to think up, but
because isn't that just the first game or whatever? But
no, it's its own game. They added a bunch of like gameplay mechanics from 3, but it's more of a top-down kind of. Gotcha. You know what I mean?
Okay, 1 down.
All right, 1 down. We got number 2 here. What is the name of the protagonist in True Crime Streets of L.A.?
Oh, fuck. I'm not going to remember that. True Crime Streets of L.A. What's the first letter start with?
An N.
Nico.
No, that's Grand Theft Auto 4.
Okay. I'm going to say Is it like just a normal dude's name?
The first name is pretty normal.
Nelly?
Nelly? Of all the N names you could have, the normal
there's
N
not
names.
that many N names if you think about it. I'm not gonna be able to guess this. Who is it?
Nicholas Kang.
Nicholas Cage. No.
Pretty much.
Okay.
All right, number 3.
All right.
In the game, Saints Row.
Oh God.
What is the full name of the gang you run with?
The oh my God. I know it's the Saints, but
yeah.
But is that it?
What street?
Oh my God. The wet. No, is there
the West?
No, I was gonna say. No, it's not that. Is it a street? It's like something Street Saints.
Yeah.
I don't know why I want to say this.
Lay it on me.
Is it the Grove Street?
No. It's another Grand Theft Auto.
Oh my gosh. What's it start with?
If I give you any more, it'll be the whole thing. Like,
just
literally.
give me the letter. I don't think I'll remember it. I really don't.
T, I guess? Or
that's the first letter in the name of the street?
Yeah.
The T?
Can I just tell you?
Yeah.
It's the 3rd Street Saints, bro.
Oh my God, I would have never guessed it. I forgot, dude. I haven't played Saints Row in so long.
That's okay. I made them a little hard today. That's my bad.
It's because it's like sandbox shit. I never pay attention to the story in sandbox games. Like, I just fucking play them. You know, like I just like that open worldness.
That's real. Okay, here's one you might know a little thing about.
Let's see.
The Simpsons Hit and Run was a huge success.
Yes, it was.
But it was actually Radical Games' second Simpsons game.
Yeah.
What was the first?
Was it Simpsons Wrestling?
No.
Simpsons... It's a Simpsons game, right?
Yes.
Okay. Trying to think.
If this helps, the Hit and Run was originally going to be a sequel to this game, but they felt like it needed more of its own identity.
Oh, yeah, because there was that Simpsons racing game. It wasn't a racing game, but it was like an open world car game, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I don't even remember what that was called though. It was like Simpsons. Simpsons.
Oh, I see it on the tip of your tongue right now.
What's the first letter?
The Simpsons are.
It's like Road Rage.
Oh my God, you're so close.
Road Rage.
Yay!
Simpsons Road Rage.
The
I knew
Simpsons
it was
Road Rage.
I got one.
Okay, so we got one here.
I knew that it was something like that. I forgot about that game.
It's okay. All right, here's another hard one. Sorry, this is maybe the hardest one about all of them.
Okay.
Number 5. In the beginning of Red Dead Redemption, John Marston is shot and left for dead, only to be nursed to health by who?
And this is in the
original Red Dead.
Red Dead.
Although she makes
Revolver.
a cameo. No, this is Red Dead Redemption 1.
Oh, okay. I thought
yeah.
I remember her. She's like the redhead lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember her name. I'm not gonna fucking remember it. Is it? Let me guess. Marie? No, I'm just kidding. No.
Not even close.
What's her name start with?
A B.
Beatrice? Bethy?
No.
Badallion?
Medallion.
Bojack?
It's Bonnie McFarlane.
Yeah, I would have never guessed that shit.
She actually makes a cameo after you've beaten the game. You can go find her. So.
Oh, how exciting, dude!
Yeah, a little fun thing for you.
I played that game up until Mexico, and then I stopped playing.
Up until Mexico? Oh, you're talking about the first game.
Red Dead
I was
Redemption.
like, you don't go to Mexico till after you beat the game.
No, Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
But,
dude, I love that game, man. Although I went back and tried to play it after I played Red Dead 2, because because Red Dead 2 is pretty much a prequel, so I was like, oh, this will set it up perfectly. Dude, it's so hard to go back, because it's like, I mean, and it's still good. It's like really well made for like what it is, but it's like hard to go back after Red Dead 2 because it's just so good.
Yeah, you lose all your freedoms. But yeah, so that was my worst attempt at that segment so far. Just sandbox games and stories don't like collide with me. Like, I never pay attention to the story in like open world games. They just don't hit the same to me.
Yeah, I kind of like it, because I can tackle the story at my own, especially with Grand Theft Auto games, specifically, because I feel like Grand Theft Auto usually has a more solid story than a lot of these,
Which I've heard. The only one that I actually paid attention to was 5. Every other Grand Theft Auto, I couldn't tell you anything about the story other than the main character's name.
5 had unquestionably the strongest story out of all of them. 5 was just good as fuck.
Yeah, it was. It was really good. It was written well, and you actually cared about the characters. Mm-hmm. But in the third game, your silent protagonist, it's like, I don't care.
Yeah, okay. The third game was kind of stupid. The third game was just cool because of
the open world.
Yeah,
that's all I cared about. And then it's and then Tommy Versailles. Tommy Versailles.
The old ones weren't really that interesting until San Andreas to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Vice City was
CJ.
Yeah,
and that was pretty
CJ
interesting.
was interesting. His whole little story, that whole game was pretty interesting.
I agree.
And 4, that was the only thing interesting about 4, if you ask me. It was the story, because everything else was kind of like a reduced version of San Andreas. I don't know. It's weird.
It was weird. It's almost like they want you to forget. No, but. Anyways, yeah, so remember, guys, you've been listening to GameSpeak Podcast, courtesy of CreateForSanity.com. The show posts for free every Wednesday on all podcast directories. Be sure to submit any questions you want read on the show to the GameSpeak Podcast Facebook group at facebook.com/group/GameSpeak Podcast, or check out our video content on YouTube. You can leave us your questions there in the comments. All you have to do is search Create for Sanity. Actually, fuck that. Don't search Create for Sanity. Just go to youtube.com/createforsanity. And you'll find us. And if you want to stay up to date with your boys, you can find me on Twitter at the handle AlJafferJamel, and Brent at Brent has 1. That's the number 1. And check out the GameSpeak